Hello, hello. Did I fix that? Yeah. Nice. All right, now I just need to fix the keyboard cam. Good. We are good to go. It is Wednesday today. Hey, Ocleus. Adam is still doing what he did yesterday. Yeah. Is still just trying to improve the Skeleseller demo for the upcoming Steam festivals. See Fests. Yeah, that's it. Today should be a normal day of streaming. Hope nothing goes too wrong here. Let's see what's on the old list. So we got to change this to Wednesday. And yeah, I didn't do as much work as I normally do. This we looked at. This stuff I still need to do. I think I need to stream for only half a day tomorrow. I think I need to catch up on some of this other stuff. Hey, Tycho, you scared me. I'd forgotten I had a tab open in one of 10 browser tabs. I'm sorry about that. I try to be I try to be careful about that when I come back from lunch. But if I'm starting a stream, I always assume that it's an intentional, like, okay, someone stumbled on the stream. So yeah, I apologize. Like, you're like, why did an ad start playing out of one of my many tabs? Yeah, Thursday, try to only stream in the morning. There's a lot of stuff to be done that I'm just not doing on stream. Plus, I don't want another 7+ hour day. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Oh, that. No worries, that was fun. Fun. I would probably not describe alarm as being fun. Okay. Yeah, so look over the scene structure for the PR I merged from Kevin and then merge Kevin's new PR. Yeah, so he changed battle panel, instance map, and I want to say one other thing. But where? Here. Files changed. Just close this thing. Look for TSCN. All right, so battle panel, instance map, party chooser. Let's go look at those. We're in battle panel already. Okay. This is what caused me to want to look through this, which is very minor. But it says VBox container 2, and there is no VBox container 1 in here. Unless you got the tooltip, I guess. But I don't think that's even worth changing. And I don't see anything else here that looks like something I'd want to change. So, fine with that. This is, yep, totally fine. And then the party chooser. Yeah, this is also fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if I were to make any change, it'd just be to remove that too, and it doesn't matter. So I'm happy with that. Now let's look at the new PR. This one. Part 620, follow-up 678. Sounds good. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, extra early. I was just commenting that I looked through the scene tree and everything's, I mean, pretty good. So not too concerned about that. All right, let's see. Following up to the previous PR, here are changes we agreed on, and a new one that came to me at 3 a.m. in bed. Oh no. Why were you awake at 3 a.m.? Put together the workaround to make the map properly adjust the camera bounds. I'm not proud of the solution to this. It makes me angry. Fix the texture filter for the map markers. Routes are already okay. Okay. And add the margin on the map. I think this looks nice. All right, let's take a look. I am curious about the fix to the update borders thing. This is needed because the camera thinks the viewport size is 2x2 right after the camera is added to the scene. Usually waiting for 1 frame is enough. However, we've encountered some situations that need at least 2 frames to report the correct size, especially on Windows. Update bounds after frames. I wonder if what we could do here is just keep doing this until the viewport is no longer 2x2. But yeah, I hope this is fine. I woke up to drink water and it came to me how to add the marshal. Okay. Hey, Cinestella. How you doing? Bounds margin is not equal to vector 2.0. Position minus equal that. So this is something that we do for just the map. Or the instance map. They're both maps. Yep. Cool. You do this so the map camera positions itself correctly. I think I might have missed something here. We still have update bounds deferred. I want to look at that. GHPR checkout 680. So battle panel calls this. Ah, okay. This has a 2 in there. You need to wait 2 frames. Okay. So I wonder if the 2 is enough. I wonder why this even happens. Is there a Godot issue on this? Window size. Windows. Window size wrong even after waiting? Might be hard to find this. Yeah, it might be hard to find this. Hadn't thought about that as an option. I don't mind this for now, but I'm curious why this happens. Maybe I should search for process frame on Windows. Update bounds is reporting the wrong viewport rect. Viewport size wrong. I don't see anything. Yeah, it's always tough looking through so many issues and hoping that I'm actually seeing the one that I should be seeing. I don't see it. All right. Hey, Sir Puffin. Yeah, Star Gunners is looking cool. I'm not sure if I added it to my wish list. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me go make sure. Star Gunners. Yeah, on wish list. All set. Maybe this? But I find this to be unlikely. Maybe this is the case, maybe not. All right, I don't know. Whatever. I'm fine with this PR. I'm gonna check this in, fix typos. Okay. Then sync that. Just this has to be a Godot bug. It just has to be. Or I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna merge this. We're gonna get back to the rest of the feedback stuff. I need to look at the resulting map that we have. Yeah. Okay. I am cool with this. Why does it change the UIDs? I just don't understand how this is even possible. Like, we have dedicated UID files. Why would it change these? Okay, out of curiosity, let's go. I thought the entire point here was so that this didn't happen. Instance map. Oh, what? Shouldn't instance map have a... Scene files don't have a UID? It's the scripts that have a UID? That seems wrong. What? Cobol, Mahola. I don't... I thought scene files had one. I guess they're inside the scene file. But then aren't we going to run into this problem all the time? This is the new one. Did mine just get modified? It did. Why? Why? I I thought this issue was going to go away forever. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about this. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this looks good. All right, thanks for following up on the original PR. Note to self, having to wait for multiple frames definitely feels like an engine bug. This is the kind of thing I'd normally want to look into if I felt like I had more time. But there are already 1 to 2 other bugs that I have to report I haven't done anything for yet. Okay. Let's merge that. And does that fix this now? Yeah, I think this is fixed. Kevin's PRs, 678 and 680, combined with, can I find it? Yeah, it'd be here, local settings. I think we'll open up a new issue if we find anything else there. But I don't know of anything right now. Yeah, so combined with this, that was weird. Didn't even paste correctly. Should mean this is fixed now. If any other issues pop up, we can file a new bug. Okay, cool. All right, so done with that. Put new Skeleseller.com online. Yeah, so Quickie Joe made a new site for us to use, and I like it, but there are a couple things I need to do in order to use it, and I just don't think it's something I should put the time into just yet. But that's it. It's a very simple site. I think we should add Discord on here at some point, and that's that. We'll probably change some things. I'll change the text a little bit. I'll change the copyright. And yeah, it's the trailer. It's got a Steam page. It's got the press kit. So I think it looks good. I'm going to bump that down the list, though, as I just mentioned. Actually, I should just file it as an issue, right? Flesh out the website. Yeah, so I'll put this here. Copy, markdown. Update. Quickie Joe made a, well, I should say an improved version of the site. Discord DM. Just fix the copy and the file names. Maybe even put the fonts there. All right, so let's comment that, assign this to myself, and do this probably like post festivals. I think we need a new milestone for that. Yeah, let's go make a new milestone. Milestones, new. Post festival work. Due date, there is no real due date, but I'm just going to put April 5th. Work that I think is not important enough for the festivals, but is probably important after they're done. Now that I think about this, how many people would go to the website? There's no information there, and there's no information that will be there. It's just going to lead you to Steam or to the trailer. So if you manage to go to Steam, then you've probably already found all the information you could find. fact, I think even Discord is linked from Steam. I don't know how many people would actually click this, but yeah, it is linked from there. So maybe this should go into the festival one. All right, I'll just write a note for this. I put this into the festival milestone, but I do think that work on the game is more important for Idlerfest. Maybe this is something we can do after the first festival. Nice to have it. I think 90% of the time when I want to find out about a game, go to the Steam page. Yeah, I think so too. And I think, okay, wait, there's one thing. I think having the press kit could be important. The press kit could be helpful for streamers or YouTubers. Yeah, that's something I hadn't thought of. Okay, well then maybe what we should do is we should just upload it and not do any of the polish work. Okay. Let me just say like slam the site. Like, throw Skeleseller.com online with the changes. Put no more than 5 minutes into the copy. Don't add a Discord link yet. Oh, and then Discord should be in this too. Yeah, needs a link to Discord. Yeah, cool. All right, so delete that. Get rid of 4x game scale. This is really simple to do. We have 4 settings over here. 1x, 2x, 3x, and 4x. And I just don't think there's a reason to have the 4x one there. Yeah, it would make battles gigantic, right? And like not everything would probably fit on your screen. Hey, M2, one more day of work for me this week. Do you have Friday off? Also, is today a normal day? Or is it freezing there and the kids are home? Yeah, I'm gonna remove 4x. Where is that 4x? Game settings menu. Are these in the scene or did I add these? Scale, set up game scale controls. Buttons.count. Okay, yeah, that's what. Let's close this stuff. They're back at school. Oh, cool. Going to a train show. Nice. Hey, Ray. Do you have another job or do you code your game full time? So I am doing the game development full time. I'm not streaming full time. The streaming is really usually just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Although as of late, you would probably assume that I'm streaming full time because I've been doing a lot of extra streaming. And I might increase the schedule a little bit. I might throw in the occasional Tuesday or Thursday, probably for a half day. But yeah, it's the game that I'm focusing on full time. When I started out doing streaming again, I originally thought I want to just explore and see where this takes me. So I was doing Twitch and then I was doing YouTube on like Tuesdays and I was trying to book interviews and mentoring and I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. And I like that content, but I want to stay focused now so that I can get Skeleseller out the door. Thinking of 19C, went to the store and my face got numb. Yeah. Oh man. I bought a balaclava during COVID because I wanted to go running and there were some really cold days. But I don't think it's normal to see runners in balaclavas. It's normal to see like skiers and snowboarders. So I've never worn this. But maybe if it's cold enough, I would put it on and go on a walk. All right, this should be in the scene, but I want to make sure we didn't. Yeah, okay, we didn't do that. Game settings. Click 4x and just delete it. Yeah. That shrinks the entire window too, which is kind of interesting. Now the settings screen is going to be thinner. We could give it a minimum size. Oh, weird. This isn't even centered. Oh, it's probably not centered now because of what I just did. Can I share a preview link of a new railroad site? Yeah, sure. I think I'd be alarmed. Yeah. I said that. My wife was like, no, that's totally normal. I'm like, I don't think it's normal. Good morning, Krasner. Abby came over and sat down. I don't know if you can see her tail on the desk. Here it is. Oh, I thought I would just move it, but she's like, what are you doing? Okay. So I kind of want to set a minimum size on this. Let's see what it would look like. I just keep moving my mouse like this. It doesn't really look that good, I guess. Because it's only the volume sliders that really need the extra space. Nothing else uses that extra space. And we could make these things use the extra space, or these get spaced out differently or something. I don't think I'm going to do this, though. Yeah, let's just leave it how it was. And then let's see how it looks in the game. That's it. I mean, that's fine. Wonder if I should put a tooltip on this and say, we only have game scale controls right now. We'll eventually have UI controls. Is it QWERTY? No, I'm using Colmac. All right, I know you were asking about the logo a little bit. I can read it as an N now. Although, well, actually, can I? I guess it's still a little bit tough. But I don't think it matters as much. Here's the floor plan of the house. There's the bathroom and the kitchen, the living room, and there's a rail station going through the whole thing. I don't think I want to live there. Resources. Hi, cat. Yeah, looking pretty good. Except for this. Okay, let's go throw a tooltip onto here. Cat, if only you would just sit in a normal position. If my legs are like this, she wants to sit right at the intersection of my legs so that I can't move my legs apart or she'll fall. And it is not comfortable to sit like this for longer than a few minutes at a time. Very frustrating, cat. I want to love you, but you're making it very difficult. Okay, so scale the whole game, including the UI, up or down. Eventually, there should be UI specific settings. Makes me want to commit to learning it now. So I would advise against it based on what I've done and seen. So I was typing on QWERTY for my whole life minus maybe 2 years. And we're not even really at the 2-year mark. That would be June of this year. So whatever, 2 years minus 5 months. I only feel like in the last maybe 2 months that I'm finally sort of up to the speed I was at with QWERTY. So what I'm trying to say is it took, let's say, 18 months to get to the same speed as QWERTY. And that was with typing every single day. I feel like you just need a lot of practice getting a new layout. Maybe at least as an adult, I guess. So after all that, was it worth it? Like, I don't necessarily mind the 18 months because it's not like it was so slow that it was painful. But now I guess there's less finger movement. That's about it. So, yeah, I don't know if it was worth the commitment. It's like doing a really, really difficult Steam achievement. You put in a bunch of work and you get a little badge at the end. I feel like I essentially just got a little badge. That's it. It's not like my speed went up by, 400% or something. Now, I will say this. If you never learned how to type properly, learning any layout properly is going to be a great investment. So if you're typing in QWERTY and you're using 2 fingers, then yeah, any layout's going to be great. And you could pick a new one and it's not going to make a huge difference at that point. All right, why isn't this showing up? Because I forgot to set the tooltip. Yep. That probably can't be done at runtime. No, it can't. Okay. However, hand health though, do you think long term can be better for your hands? I think it could be. It's hard for me to say because I didn't have hand pain to begin with. So when I changed, I still didn't have hand pain. And I also kind of wonder if we'll be typing like 5 or 10 years from now. We already have a lot of dictation tools. What happens if in the future the way that you're coding is a totally different interface? The way you're writing emails is a different interface. You know, maybe you are mostly speaking and AI is filling in the blanks for you. At which point typing isn't going to be as important. I should use more than 2 fingers. I think there are probably a lot of people out there who use like 2 to 4 fingers to type, and they don't even necessarily have to be slow at it. It's probably terrible for your hands to type with just 2 fingers. I could never convert. I hate talking out loud at random. I think you could. That's the thing. I think if you found out that, oh, it's just like having a conversation and maybe it becomes more normalized. Yeah. Because I gotta say, I don't mind typing or anything, but it is kind of a necessity right now. If in the future I could just say something like, okay, archive that email, pull that one up, yeah, respond with something nice, and then just move on. Like you don't even say what the email is. It just knows your voice essentially, and then types in that voice. That'd be pretty cool. Scale the whole game, including the UI up or down. Eventually, there should be UI specific settings. Yeah. Okay. So change game scale settings. Are the indentations on audio settings supposed to be like that? Or do they need to be aligned left? These are intentional because these show that they're underneath master volume. We should maybe have like a little right angle arrow. But yeah, that way you'd know that effects is going to control all of these things. But I guess it does look kind of like a mistake. Maybe what we should do is when you're dragging this, like flash these things as well, indicating that they're modified by that. Or I'm not sure. I think we can put in some polish there. With that said, I don't think they're probably super important. All right, so change game scale settings. Got rid of 4x. If people ask for this again, yeah, I don't know if anyone was using it. And then what else did we do? Added a tooltip to game scale to clarify what it does. Okay, there we go. Cat, she's so warm. 4x UI scale. Yeah, if we add in UI scale, I think having any amount there would probably be good, and people can just figure out what looks good for them. I don't know when we're going to do that though, but hey, Thomas. Okay, so this is done. Let's bump this down the list so I don't keep looking at it. All right, think about changing the inked map to that. Yeah, hey, Wendy. Thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? I was like, did I wishlist Stargunners? And I did. So take that, everybody. Let me actually use the shout out feature for once. Hey, Tobor Prime, how you doing too? For those who haven't seen the game that I'm working on, it's called Skeleseller. And it's a game where you send adventurers in to do battle. And they fight automatically for you. And you get items from the battles and you sell them in your town. So let's grant a whole bunch of items here and drag this over here. And here's a customer, and eventually they'll turn around because they'll catch a whiff of potion. Oh, they're going for it. They're going to go buy it. They're going to give me 15 gold. Yeah, so we are working on the demos for the upcoming Steam festivals. If you all want to check it out, there's the link to, well, that's actually just the link to wishlist, I guess. The link to play is there. I've been trying to fix all the feedback that we've gotten so far. And actually, one of the other little updates I have is that I've been working on the title screen music, and I spent the longest time yesterday trying to figure out like these couple of measures to figure out how I'm going to transition from this part to this part, which if you've never heard this before, makes no sense because I'm not playing it right now. But if I play it quickly, can we even do this? Okay, so we have those little like pluck sounds, and I wanted to switch to something else. So let me play the whole thing. We need some motion on the title screen. Okay, so all I cared about was the instrumentation here, which is like piano and guitar. I just improv the guitar part of this using a keyboard. So I need to still flesh this out, which is why I'm not going to continue to play that. Where's the guitar thing here? Yeah. So I want something that goes along with this. Yeah. Who made the music? I made the music. And thanks for wish listing, by the way. So yeah, we need the title screen music for the first festival. As I just mentioned, we're prepping for some Steam festivals. There is Idler Fest on February 3rd, and then there's Next Fest on February 24th. February 3rd is pretty close, and I'm taking a vacation before that, so there are very few days left to work on the game for that. I want to get the title screen music done, and I want to get any bug fixes I can get done. And then there are 2 other people who are contributing code, and they might do some work while I'm on vacation, and then I want to come back from vacation and merge any PRs that are there. Did I play piano before? Yes, I played piano before. Yeah, and what program is that? That's FL Studio. I had some, where is it? Not really Botland. Back in the days when I was making Botland, I had a playlist of other videos that I did. And every once in a while, this is wild to go through. But yeah, every once in a while, there would be a piano stream. Yeah, like this one. Wow, I did not have a very nice camera back then. And I'm not even going to play this because this is probably horrible. I put butchering in the title for a reason. Anyway, yeah, so today, just making changes. Windy, I was there for a decent amount of your stream. I then couldn't catch the parts where I was streaming too. Yeah, the square 720p cam. You use FL Studio? I remember when it was very primitive. I remember when I first opened FL Studio, I'd never used a DAW before, and I'm like, I have no clue what's going on here for any of this stuff. And I slowly learned enough of the functionality to be able to make some music in it. And by the way, this is 1, not finished. 2, I'm not an expert. But 3, it is already actually kind of the aesthetic that I want, which is like a simple thing. Like the use of xylophone here was because it's a skeleton main character. And I thought that association is there for probably a lot of people. It was a good time. Yeah, well, the game's looking good. I look forward to playing it in 2028. All right, what's next? So he said he wants to see distinct decision making. He said with an exponential increase of perks, you eventually upgrade everything. He said he would just buy the cheap stuff at some point when the expensive stuff costs a lot. So context here. Oh, you're so cute, cat. Can you see this? You can only see her tiny little head right there. My cat is trying to sleep on me right now. So Renegade Pige played the game the other day and streamed the whole process. And I wrote down a bunch of notes. And some of these were things he explicitly said, like this. And some of them were things that after watching him, I thought, okay, I should probably change this or I should change that. We've already done a bunch of these things. But this one in particular, so there are a few sort of high-level approaches you can take to a game, to upgrading stuff, and you can't mix them. So for example, imagine that you have like skill A, skill B, and skill C. So one way of doing things is you could just say like you have skill points and put them wherever. Another way of doing it is you have skill points and every level takes 1 more point. I've seen a game that did this. So like level 1 costs 1 point and level 2 costs 2 points. And so on and so forth to the point where level 10 costs 10. And what this does is it makes it so that like, okay, when you're level 9, you got to invest 10 points to get any benefit anymore. So you're probably going to put those 10 points into your other skills they haven't been leveled up. So any high level approach you take is going to change how players interact with your game. And it's the same thing with these upgrades that we have. We have the concept of like money buys the upgrades, not points. Although that in itself was a decision that we had to make. And a lot of these idle games end up getting to like you're making like $4 billion per second. So at that point, any upgrade that costs 10 or 100 or 1,000 or 100,000, they're free. You're making $1 billion per second. Who cares? So you're just going to get them all anyway. And it becomes this like, okay, well, now we need to make the upgrades also be on this sort of inhuman scale. And you get like 1,000 at a time or something. I do not like that style. I do not want to do that for this game. So what we have is the town perk system here. And the scaling I'm trying to apply, like these cost 50 at the beginning. And once you upgraded, it went up to 75. It's not a crazy increase here. I want for the amount of money you get over the game to increase from like 3 gold per item up to maybe 500 gold per item. So not a gigantic difference like some of these games that have trillions and stuff. Thank you again for the raid, Windy. I hope you have a good day. Good evening. Anyway, he commented though that as a result of doing that, it doesn't feel like there's as much decision making. And I sort of beg to differ, but if someone chose to give this feedback, it means that that's how they feel. And if that's how they perceive the game, it doesn't matter how the game actually does things. It matters how they perceive it. So, for example, when he was playing, he only put points into shiny loot. That was his specialty, if you want to call it that. But the game doesn't enforce specialties. He just didn't put points anywhere else. And as a result, he was getting a lot of money from items, but his town was not very efficient or anything. So I kind of like where the game already is. And I feel a little uneasy whenever I do this. I see feedback that someone who is the target audience gave and thought about, and that maybe I'd be shooting myself in the foot by ignoring this here. But overall, he had fun playing the game, enough to finish the game and then immediately start playing it again. So it's like, did the decision making decrease that fun? It didn't decrease to the point where he didn't want to play anymore. So yeah, hard to balance this stuff. He likes the skills and wants there to be more. This was something too that, oh man, okay, so I'm not ragging on Paj who played this game. But one of the things that he did is he would get a skill point and he would read like, okay, where do I want to put this skill point? And he chose a skill and he's like, okay, cool, I can start to plan my build and everything. And then at the end of the game, we don't have all the content yet. So there's this thing, this skill gives you 4 more skill points all at once. And he started adding them to his characters. And at some point he's like, oh my God, there's so much reading. Why do I have to do this? So adding more skills would be adding more reading. The problem is we unlocked so many of the skill points at once that it became a lot of reading at once. But so yeah, I think if we were to do anything, we'd probably have to add like another tier of skills down here so that you don't feel like you have to read everything. But then any new adventurers you unlock, you are going to have to read everything all at once. So again, this is one of those things that I'm just going to table for right now. Can I customize my character? You can customize the skills of your character. So each one has, 7 skills. And there's like a very shallow relationship between these. You need a certain number of points in this tier to unlock the second one. So when I spend a point here, I can get these. And when I spend 2 points anywhere, I can get the bottom ones. And there are no requirements between them. So they're all just straight up benefits. But yeah, that's the customization you can do. We'll always have options that players will only buy once. Once everything else seems too expensive. Simply due to the nature of choice and preference. Yeah, there are no cosmetics. And there's no equipment. And I don't have plans to add either of those things. So I talked about this yesterday a little bit, but the only way I could see doing this is if we had, let's say we had 3 skill trees. And let's just divide them into like town and battle and, I don't know, economy. Just whatever, it doesn't matter. And we let the player know that the first tree you pick will be 25% cheaper than the others. So you would know going into it that, okay, I picked town. That means my town is going to be better than someone else who picked battle just because of it being cheaper. It doesn't lock you out of the other trees. But I have a lot of problems with this stuff too, which is you wouldn't know as a new player which one of these you like. And even if you know which one you like, you wouldn't know which one is best. Maybe you change your mind later. How would you work with that? And what we could do, I guess, a way of kind of getting the best of both worlds, maybe we could say something like, choose a tree for the next 10 minutes. Upgrades in that tree are cheaper. Or for the next like 30 minutes or something. That's actually kind of an interesting way of doing this. Because then you can choose where you're getting a discount in the future. And it would just be temporary and it would let you buy a bunch of stuff. Maybe increase the amount of points to move to the next tier, so less reading. Yeah, well, it's combined with another problem that well, I wouldn't really say it's a problem, but all of your adventurers are always the same level. So right now they're all level 1. If I were to defeat a boss in the game, they'd all go to level 2. So they're all leveling up at once, and any new adventurers you have are joining your team at that new level. So if I were to all of a sudden get a new, like a ninja class, and I'm level 7, that ninja will be level 7 as well, which means that as soon as I unlock them, they've got 6 skill points to spend. And I don't think I want to change that. So anyway, there's a lot of intertwined stuff here that you change one thing and it's like, well, now we need to revisit that decision. And since this isn't finalized yet anyway, and I've got some ideas of how to move forward, that's why I think we're just going to go with the ideas that we have. Yeah, allow them to reset skill tree for gold. We originally, so if we did that, then there'd have to be a way of undoing all of your skills. So as an example, here's one, max customers. Let's say you fully unlock this. Let me give myself money. Okay, so now I have 10 customers in town and we can see them walking in over this bridge here. If I reset my skills, do these all just disappear? like these, it doesn't make sense for us to undo some of those things because these are perks for your town. Or like, what if one of these was like, add a fountain here and I don't know, your adventurers can go to the fountain and regenerate themselves. Do we like delete the fountain afterward? And you can do that stuff. You can make customers disappear. It's just maybe a little strange. Probably known from context in game, but 30 minutes in game time or wall clock. Oh, I'm just posing this as an idea. Whatever makes more sense. So right now there's no such thing as game time specifically. Like some games do a clock in the game, and then every 1 minute of in-game, or sorry, 1 minute of real time goes up by like 15 minutes in game. So yeah, this would just be like wall clock time. And by the way, this is just if I were to do this idea. I don't think it's even worth doing this idea, because now if you think about this sort of, what is this going to do for player psychology here? They might be like, oh, this is about to run out, so I'm going to not get any of the battle tree skills because I know that I'll be able to apply this thing to the battle tree and get cheaper stuff. So yeah, anyway, this is what's leading to these decisions. I'm not making them lightly. Like, you will slowly unlock some of these perks by just kind of beating the game or something, but their prices aren't going to change, and you'll figure out how you want to like progress through these. If you have a town hall level system, you can unlock perks like shiny loot or higher levels of it. Yeah, and that's what I think we're going to do. And maybe you can even choose how you want to build that out. Like, imagine if we did have these 3 trees. Maybe there's like a general tab, and then there's some like town, combat, whatever, other things. And these all cost some money. So it's like 100 gold just to unlock the tree. That might feel a little like a specialization. I feel like there's a lot of reading on adventure skills, even before getting +4 each. And at some point, I just didn't feel, I just didn't, as I felt the exact skill doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah. And I think the only real way to address that is to give you fewer skill points, which I don't think would be interesting. Hey, Tanvir, welcome back, and thank you. Yeah, the demo of this is playable now if you want to go to itch. Is it okay if when a new ninja joins a level 7, they come randomized, or player chooses between 3 randomized ninjas? Yeah, I guess that's one way we could do this. We could just fill out these skills for you. And that way, if you don't want to do anything, you don't have to. But then you need to know to come in here and hit reset skills. I hadn't thought of that idea. I think I want to still keep an eye on feedback, because one of the other things about this, as I mentioned, was this skill of like get 4 skill points at once. It's called end of demo reward. This is not meant to stay in the game. So once the pacing is a little bit better, maybe there's going to be an hour in between level ups. That hour is enough time for you to spend reading these things and being like, okay, I want this skill over this one, and then this skill over this one. So it'll feel different too. There's another reason why I think some of this feedback, it might be good, but we don't know how the game's going to settle yet. Hey, Karada. Say hi to customer Adam. Is customer Adam in town right now? I don't see them. Do you have a small video clip of each skill in effect? I was thinking about that too. I think it could be kind of neat to see, like, you hover over this and you see a little battle play out. But a lot of them, I mean, it's just a different way of taking in the information, and there's still a lot of information when you get a new character. So I think it would help alleviate it a little bit. All right, anyway, moving on. He said he wants more in the game, wants more choices, wanted to be able to tell the skeleton what to do, fun upgrades, having items automatically go to an open spot, upgrading the slime, weird and goofy upgrades. Want to have a build with respecs, not just be able to upgrade everything. Okay, I like the idea of the fun and goofy upgrades. I said he wanted some fun slash goofy upgrades. We should probably think of some more of those. When I think goofy stuff, I think either that it's a silly thing that doesn't really impact the game, like cosmetics, or that it's a system that's a little bit goofy. Like the way that we have recycling in the game is there's a slime that eats your items. And like this is kind of goofy, but I like this. I think this is very fitting for this game. Path of Exile 2 does the video info really well. Yeah, I think Path of Exile probably needs it more than most, given that they have such a sprawling skill tree. And also given that you're the one playing the character. In this, since these are automated battles, like when you have a battle with so many different adventurers, well, that's a bad example because they won so fast. All right, so when you have a battle with so many different adventurers, it's a little harder to tell, okay, what was the impact of the archer on the fight? Like how many arrows are hitting, how many are missing, how much damage are they doing? And I don't want this to be the focus of the game too much, of like micro optimizing your individual characters. I think it should be more about finding synergies between the builds. Did that just do something weird? Nav map synchronization there. Did I just see you open a map? What was that? Yeah, this is the new, I don't know if you saw the updated UI of this, but now you can see this even when the game window is a little bit smaller. Slapping or kissing some vendors. Yeah, I guess things like that are probably the goofy upgrades. Some people proposed ideas in the past, like clicking NPCs or like something clicking NPCs. Yeah. Okay, let's delete this for now. Seems very few people manage the balance of items, workers, and transporting. Wonder if we should make it clearer. Yeah, this is what I was talking about the other day. The game gives you a lot of different tools so that, okay, if we just look at this scenario right now, we see a ton of items, but we don't see people buying them. And actually, the reason why is we don't have these shops. But if I build the shops, okay, so now there is a way of selling them. And you can see, like, at any given point, what is the bottleneck? Here, we have tons of items, and we have a decent amount of workers. But like, oh, the items aren't being purchased. And the tools you have to fix this are like, okay, go get more customers in your town, or cast one of these spells, like grant 50% speed to customers. So if I click this, now customers are going to move faster, and I can actually use up to 2 more of those spells. So now they're going to be like zipping around, especially when I get this skill, which makes them move even faster. So now the customers are like darting all over the place, and they just bought those items. So like you have some tools in the game for fixing this stuff, but a lot of people don't look at what the bottleneck is. Actually, I think this comes down to the personality of the person playing the game. Because one of my friends, when she was playing, she was looking at, in fact, she even kind of said this, like, where is the bottleneck? And then she's like, oh, I'm not selling items as quickly. Okay, I'll get more item slots and I'll make sure I've got more workers. But when Pige was playing, that was not a consideration. And there were so many items disappearing. And it, again, at the end of the day, if you're having fun playing the game, I don't care how you're playing it. But I wonder if the fun can be enhanced by telling you, like, you're losing a bunch of items. And there are ways you can do it kind of subtly, which is, imagine you just had like an items lost counter and it just said like 8. And you'd be like, what? Oh, I'm losing a lot of items. And when you see this go up to like 90, you might be like, I probably shouldn't have that happen. and not some like tip in your face of, hey, you're not ever clicking this button, or you should probably go prioritize this upgrade. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on that too. Suggested a bank for investments is another way to get money, or maybe enemies could drop gold, so you could just focus on killing enemies. Yeah, I like both of these things. I'm gonna write this down. Thinks luminescence is worded a bit strangely. All right, that is here. Take a picture of this. So the thing he thought was strange is that this says see holy light for more details. And I think my issue here was that the rays of light happen to be kind of the same name as the ability itself. So what I should probably do is just make this into the skill name. You gain 1 ray of, and then green, holy light every second. And then that's it. We don't need to write anything else. Players challenge accepted. 1 million items lost. What are the slime is counting lost items? Like, hey, you could have fed those to me. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think the slime could say that. As long as it doesn't result in us adding another line of dialogue on a new page, I think. Maybe when you click the slime, it tells you how many items it could have eaten. Yeah. All right, the problem with doing this is this might not make sense in other languages. Well, I guess if it doesn't make sense, then we could just add different text. So yeah, because it doesn't really matter. All right, you gain some number of rays of, and then we put holy light there. Every second. Yeah, there. Cat. Cat. Oh man, I took the best picture yesterday of Abby. Do I still have this? She was, I don't have it easily accessible. She was laying on my lap with her head on my arm as I'm trying to use my computer, just sleeping. So adorable. All right, so we got to go unlock the paladin and go over to here and see if this looks better. So now here's the new skill. Gain 1 ray of holy light every second. Yeah, I think this is pretty succinct and nice. Let's do that. Okay. Hey, Poolbox, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. How is the game coming along? And welcome in, everybody. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to click through the oh my god, this is so difficult. Just trying to see the last VOD. What is going on here? All right. Well, anyway, yeah, how's it going? Is your game coming out soon? So we are prepping for Steam festivals, and the next festival is Idler Fest, and it's on February 3rd. And that's what we're prepping for right now. Announced a release date of February 17th. Nice. Freaking out a little. I think that's very normal. I'm gonna write this down. I think it is normal to freak out. I hope it goes really well. And I'm glad to hear that. Feel free to pop a link in chat, by the way. But yeah, welcome everybody. We are working on Skeleseller here, and we've been working on it for almost a year now at this point. And it's a town management game. It's very casual, very laid back. There is not a ton of like advanced decision making you have to do here. A lot of it is just kind of almost simulation stuff. So you send adventurers into battle and they'll fight automatically for you. So this is my mage. They'll cast some spells on this bat. And when they win, they get some items. So here we got some potions. And then my adventurers and my worker will go through and pick them up and then stock these shops over here. And then customers can buy these items. And with the money, I can upgrade my town, my buildings, get new abilities and skills and stuff. Yeah, so we just got some money there. And that's it in a nutshell. It's battle, get loot, sell the loot, upgrade your town, find random new things in the game, like quests and spells and yeah. Oh no, this is not on my wish list. I will add it. I don't know if I'd ever seen the Steam page actually. But yeah, this is looking good. You doing Next Fest? Yeah. So, did you do Next Fest already, Foolbox? Because for those who don't know, Next Fest has two major constraints. One is you can only be in one ever per game, and two is your game can't be out already. So it's called Next Fest for a reason. And the only being in once per game is just so that you don't see like the next Stardew Valley be in there 4 different times and just take over the charts. So I want to be in the upcoming one. It happens 3 times per year. And like I said, since you can only be in one, you need to pick one. So it's either February or June or I think October. You did it back in November. And I didn't ask you about this, right? What was your experience? And you don't have to type this out. I know you just finished a stream, but I'm curious what your like biggest takeaways are and also what the impact was for you. And you have to have a demo. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Sorry, that's not a big constraint. These are like big constraints. I should have specified. Sorry for the unsolicited feedback, but the third image with the red background looks slightly like a hate symbol. In Steam? Oh, you're talking about Fullbox's game? I don't really, or maybe I'm not thinking the right symbol, but I don't, my brain doesn't, my brain doesn't go there first. I guess I could see how you'd make the association. Hey, DB Dreamer, thanks for the bits. It's nice. It's a lot of work. Basically doubled my wish list, so it definitely helped. And if you don't mind sharing, and you certainly don't have to, but you mentioned doubling. There's no way for you to share without, I guess, telling me the amount. But was it like a little? Was it a lot? Because if you went from 5 to 10, that's very different from going like 500 to 1,000, right? Or 450 to 900. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. And then a lot of work. How much did you do throughout the next fest? Because November means that you wouldn't have had. I think Steam was doing these things about like boosted slots or stream slots or something like that, and I think they stopped doing that. So I think if you did this in November, then you wouldn't have had these. But apparently, at least a year ago, it used to be that you'd stream on Steam, and oh, thank goodness, cat. Oh, I got my legs. Oh, okay. Oh man, that was painful. But she's so adorable. I wasn't gonna move. My legs. Yeah, I am streaming on Steam, but I don't ever pay attention to this, and I don't even know the view count. I think is based on just how many people are on the channel. But I'm glad that it's not a thing because I heard of people doing this thing where they'd stream for 30 hours. It wasn't actually streaming. They just had a pre-recorded video, and that way they just kept their slot forever. And then if you know there's a stream coming up, there's no way for Valve to go and look at every single stream. So you could just have a pre-recorded thing, and people actually recommended doing that. And to me, it just seems like, what's the point of streaming then? Like, shouldn't it be some live interactivity? Yeah, people record themselves doing a 3-hour video. Yeah, yeah. I think it was too easy to exploit, and if you didn't do it, then you weren't making the best of your like free publicity. Yeah. So improve wording of luminescence. It was the only skill, I think, that said to see another skill for more details. That was from a time when we didn't just write skill names in green. And so I'm really excited for Next Fest. And both of these festivals that are coming up represent a brand new thing for me, which is that most people seeing the game will be total randos. Whereas I just submitted, where's the feedback? Yeah, I just submitted this game on itch recently, and I have a feedback survey in the game, and I had fun playing the game, and most people are having fun, but then you get down to this third question, and it's how'd you find out about the game? and almost everyone is through the stream, through Discord. One person found it through itch. And actually, that person did say that they had fun playing the game. But yeah, I wonder what this would look like if everyone was finding it just through the Steam page itself. They wouldn't know anything about the game. They'd fill in blanks their own way. They'd be like, oh, this was a team of, 10 people working on this for 2 years or something. And then you judge it differently based on that. And it's like, well, you're not there to correct them. Let's say have a good capsule ready. Make sure your tags are well set. Try to advertise a little outside of Steam. Yeah. Yeah. And again, you don't have to share all this stuff, but what would you recommend for the advertising outside of Steam, excuse me? Would you reach out to streamers, YouTubers, press at all? People like you, it can be hard for them to give good feedback. Yeah. And thankfully, those are the short answers that I showed. I can't show the long answers because some of them have usernames in them. But the long answers, I think even if people know me, are still super helpful. People say something like, that was fun, that was confusing, this could be better. And that really helps. And that's why we have such a gigantic list. This to-do list is 49 pages long now. And that's not even all the to-do items. There are 252 issues on GitHub. So there's a lot to sift through and like lots of little things we can do. And that's just based on what's already there, I think. I think there are like separate things that we have for the new features we want to add in. I think it was 10 people working for a couple of years. Speaks volumes about how good the game must be. No, what I mean is, let's say you're playing any AAA game. You probably are going to be a little bit more critical of mistakes than if you play an indie game. Because you think, well, the studio probably had enough budget to fix this issue, right? Or it must have come out in playtesting, or do they not have QA or something like that? And that's what I'm getting at, is that I think it can cause you to be more critical without necessarily appreciating the nicer things any better than if it were an indie game. So it's the same thing with this sort of thing. If people assume that you're a small team, they're probably going to be more forgiving. Hey, TJ. If you can, yeah, but that can be hard to get press interest about in your game. There's a lot of games in Steam Fest, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's another thing I was thinking about, which is that I think sort of from the beginning, it's think about marketing. And originally, even the name of this game was going to be something like Loot Idler or something. And it would have been a totally different game too. But at some point I thought, it'd be cool to name it Skeleseller. But then I thought, okay, well, we need to theme the game around like you're a skeleton. Otherwise it won't make sense. And then we did all that. But I thought this would be catchier than just like a generic description of the game. But even then it's like, okay, well, fine. That's maybe more of a hook. But still, it's like, it's a town management game where you're selling loot and stuff. I don't think it's going to be easy to share how this is unique from all the other ones in the genre, or it's going to be worth doing for press. So I don't know how much I'm going to reach out to press, but I definitely want to reach out to streamers and stuff. Are you making all the issues yourself, or is there a way people can just submit their own? No, I'm making them myself, or the other people on the team are making them, because the GitHub repo is private. But people are submitting issues through Twitch, through Discord, and then I roll them up there. I recognize it's not perfect because there's no way for someone who's going to report an issue to see if it already existed. But I don't want to maintain 2 issue trackers, and I don't want to only have a public issue tracker. Could have a contest during the demo, like have a leaderboard, and people that get the highest score win a key to the full game. It's a good idea. I will write that down. Miko, thanks for the resub. Just lurking while I work. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. I appreciate it. Happy 2 months. Hope you have a good day. Wonder if there's a process for seeing the repo or if it was purely private. Yeah, purely private. Yeah. Contest for highest lost items. Click that slime. Never sell anything. It's a little gimmicky. You need to start somewhere. Yeah, and like I said, I'm thinking of going kind of the streamer route for some of this. There have been some streamers who they have certainly more viewers than I do who've agreed to stream the game already. And I think that's going to help. I think even just kind of always spamming my own chat with, hey, did you remember to wishlist the game? I think that could be good too. When last I checked, I think we're at 533 wish lists as of this morning, and only updates once per day. So even just getting a few per stream leading up to the festivals would probably help. I'd be happy to test your game. I don't have more viewers than you. I will write this down. And it's not always about getting views on the game. Sometimes it's about getting feedback. Unfortunately, right now we're drowning in feedback. So that's why I'm not really trying to push the game too much on new people yet, because I did just upload this version yesterday, but still there are a lot of things I know about that I want to change. So we gotta do that. Hey, Titanium. How goes the wish list? Yeah, perfect timing indeed. Add +1. Thanks, Kerpellini. I appreciate it. Didn't notice cloning. Yeah, we got to update the icons on skills. And I don't know if we have any better icons that we can use for this. If I search for clone, for example, we have these couple of ones. I think a lot of this would just be changing the colors of icons. Yeah. Skill. Is it this? Yeah. This would also help the feedback that Page gave during checkpoint 5 that he didn't see cloning because it's mostly a white outline. I think that if we change the visibility of these icons or these buttons, then it would be more apparent that there's even a skill there. Yeah. Thanks, streamer. I appreciate that. And hey, easy head. I thought I had it wish listed, but I do now. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, thank you. It really does help. The way that, and I haven't really looked at Next Fest too much, but the way that a lot of these things show is you see a bunch of games by like most wish listed or up and coming, and then you have a bunch of genre breakdowns. And yeah, maybe you end up clicking idle, and then maybe you see Skeleseller. But I think most people are probably going to go to like, okay, what's best? What's a game I should actually have on my radar that I want to buy? And yeah, if Next Fest had, let's say, 200 games, probably people would see all of them. And some people would even probably make it a challenge to play all of them. But it doesn't. It has like more than 2,000, I think. And it's probably only going to increase as time goes on. All right, let's close all these tabs. All right, so that's done. Pacing the demo felt slow at first, then got really fast, and then he beat it. He said it was going way too quickly. He said it didn't feel bad or that he couldn't keep up. I'm going to keep this written down over here. Consider Page's feedback when I look at the rest of the survey feedback. Yeah. You need to make a web build? Can't right now? Yeah, I'm on C#. Yeah. Yeah, I think a web build is totally out of the question. Because Godot just doesn't support it, and I can't downgrade, and I can't switch from C#. I'm pretty much positive this would just break if I were to click this. Yeah, not currently supported. Okay. How do we delete that? There. Hopefully that didn't modify my file. No, it didn't. Clarify that empowered spellcasting and lightning zaps is considered one spellcast. I'm not actually sure this is necessary, but here's the skill. It says every time you cast a spell, your power increases up to a maximum of 50%. And then there's this skill, which says call down 5 lightning bolts. This is one spell cast for 5 lightning bolts. I don't know if we need to make it clear that it's one spell cast. I don't think so. We don't do it in mental swiftness. I'm not going to do anything there. Taking a break from C++ and texturing my player. I can interpret this and either way. Do you mean you were taking a break to texture your character, or you're taking a break from both of these things? And if it's the latter, what is the thing that you're actually doing? Because I'm curious what's more fun for you. There's GX Games, where people post a web version of their demo and funnel people to Steam for wishlist. See people getting a ton of wishlists that way. GX Games, what is this? Never seen this site before. But what is the site? They have an about page. Is this just another like indie game marketplace? What? Hang on a second. Let me click. There's a sign in. Ah, FAQ. Here we go. Oh, is this? Huh, their FAQ doesn't work. What? I clicked this at the bottom. Oh, you can't middle click it? What? What just happened? I definitely clicked something here and it just said client error. I don't know what I clicked then. All right, well, anyway. Is this Opera's thing? As I see this. Create and play amazing game maker games with the power of Opera GX. Wonder how many people use this. I mean, I guess if it's generating wish list for people, then a decent amount. Oh, from C++ 2 texturing. I see. Yeah. Yeah, I think mixing it up is important. And even switching projects at sometimes too. The skill icon art style is not pixel art style. Yeah, those are okay. So there are two different kinds of skill icons we have. There's this style, which is the style we are aiming for. And then there's this style, which is temporary. So these need to all be replaced. These are intentional. This is what we want. But I do wonder if people, I don't know. I wonder if people are turned off by these two art styles not matching. How do you feel about that, Fruit Superman? All right, I don't think I'm going to do this. Suggest having an upgrade saying apples grow on trees. Yeah, I think I have this somewhere. Apple tree follow-up work. Not that one. Did I write this here? I did not. Is it in here? Yeah, here it is. Oh no, that's a different one. Trees can spawn apples that the game never tells you about. Makes them golden. If this isn't clear enough, we could have an upgrade that gives you the basic spawning. E.g., trees will now grow apples that you can harvest for money. Yeah, we probably need to make it clear that you have to harvest them. Although maybe we could make workers do that. Could make workers do it though. Take care, Poolbox. I hope you have some good food. Thanks for the raid, and best of luck on your launch. I will hopefully I'll write myself a note to add it to my calendar. Try to drop in. All right, only use loop magnet. Oh yeah, this is another problem. I think this is mostly just a Pige problem though. There are three spells we have in the game. Make customers move faster, make workers move faster, and give yourself a chance for more loot. And when he read this one, he immediately purged these two from his memory and never clicked them again. He's like, this is the spell. I'm only ever going to cast this. So in my mind, yeah, that's fine. He can do that, but casting these would have helped out a lot. He did realize their importance when I pointed it out. So yeah, interesting to watch that though. Hey Zaid, thank you. I don't know if you're saying good luck to me or to Full Box, but I'm gonna take it as good luck to me. So thank you. More than okay for me. It'd be okayer if the two styles match. Yeah, there were okay. So let me see. There were some asset packs on itch. And I'm not saying this because we're going to use the asset packs necessarily, but just to give you an idea of what this could look like, I guess. Game assets. Pixel art. All right, now let's just search for icon in here. There should be something that shows up. I know we can use the search bar, but I don't want it to clear out what I have here. All right, so maybe something like that. No, it's more for foods. Here, something like this. Those aren't really for skills. These aren't really either. All right, fine. Let's send in icons at the top. Game assets. Whoops, did not want to add to a new collection. Yeah, maybe something like this. I guess these are the style that you'd want to see. My issue, no matter what we do, is that I don't think any pack would ever contain all of the skills that we need. Like here, you have, see these sides here, you've got what, 5? Maybe there's some other ones on the next row. But it's like, okay, what if you need a green one that's got leaves on it? It's like, all right, well, gain some art skills and do that, I guess, because it doesn't exist here. I recognize that that's where we are right now, is that all of this is custom art. So yeah, maybe we end up using a pack, then the styles have to match. I never touched the first 2 spells either. I think they're really good, but we'll probably make them better in the future. You can refight an elite if you don't close the window but open the battle map, which enables the restart battle button. I didn't see that, Nui, so thanks for pointing that out. Let me write that down here. Quest power bonus of 13. Want to be able to press enter to activate the accept button. Yep, this is something we should definitely do. I don't know if we have bird graphics, but I think this is a good idea too. And I'll just put this in the backlog for now. All right, get rid of this. Cool. All right, let's look into what Nui just reported. You can refight an elite if you don't close the window but open the battle map, which re-enables the restart battle button. Okay, so we go here. Except for it won't let us do that because we've already done this. We start a new game, and then we try. So we win the battle. We open up the battle map. We can't do it through there. Wait, what? I don't think this is true. It didn't repro for me now, at least. It might not be obvious, but what's happening... Okay, so check this out. I'm at the canyon right now. I click start battle, and I win the fight. Now, when I press the battle map, like if I click this, start battle is enabled, but it's because I'm at the volcano, not at the canyon. If I click the canyon, it's disabled. Is that maybe what happened for you too? Because that's not a bug. And if I edit this, it's still disabled. I think you can't. No? That's not what happened for you. Okay, yeah. Then I'm not sure how to repro this yet. If you don't close a window but open the battle map. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe. I think I know what you might mean. Maybe it's that I had the battle map open while I was. So I do something like this and then win the battle. There. No, it's still moved. Maybe. Huh. No, I can't figure out how to do that. Also, something else I just noticed. Am I in the wrong branch? Oh, darn it, I am. Okay, maybe it is a bug and I'm in the wrong branch. Oh, man. I gotta move these to the other branch then. So git push. We probably can't do that. All right, well, I'll just get log -2 and I'll just cherry pick these. So that one and that one. There's probably a better way to do this, but since it's only 2 of these, I'm just going to do it this way. All right. Git cherry pick. Push. All right, now let's try that out. Because, yeah, I was on the wrong version. This is the right version. So let's see if it's a problem here. I click this. Okay, so it doesn't happen like that. Maybe if I keep this open. No, I can't figure out how to reproduce this. Let me just see if I'm missing anything from this. Refight an elite. If you don't close the window but open the battle map, re-enables a restart button. Oh, re-enables repeat? Oh, okay, there we go. I see. Okay, yeah, so repeat battle is what's enabled again. Okay, so how did we do that? Hmm. I see. I got it. I got it. Okay, so repro is beat elite, don't close battle window, open battle map, click another area, click the boss area you just beat, and at this point, the repeat battle button will be enabled. Okay, so when you change the selected instance, there should be a signal here, selected, here it is, and then something should listen to this, selected, set start button state. Something should, this is the start button though, something should let it know. Select a new battle. How is it that this is changing anything outside of here? This is the only listener for this. And this isn't doing anything interesting. Huh. When I initially opened the battle map and the map, the location name at the bottom left was outside the box partially. Location name in the bottom left. Could you possibly take a picture of that? Let me see. Oh, good, cool. Oh, there are two problems, I think, and maybe they're both caused by the same thing. Are you talking about this specifically, though? That the tooltip doesn't encompass the skull? Because one of the other problems, this having this much blank area, I think should be fixed, but only as of this morning. Yes, the skull. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll have to look at that too. Okay, so how do we do this? We must be listening to something here. But what? Adventure battle state change. I don't know what's doing this. Peep battle button dot disabled. The only set is walking a portal. Oh, maybe this gets called with false, and we say that they're not walking in the portal. That's possible. That's very likely, actually. Yeah, it's very likely that it's this. Are we still in the repro state right now? No, we're not. All right, let's put a breakpoint there. Not yet, actually. Let's not put a breakpoint yet. Let's repro the bug. Start, win. Okay, now we put a breakpoint here. And then we swap locations by clicking this. Interesting. Even just clicking this just caused this to happen. Auto repeat toggled. Turn off auto battle. What? Oh, edit party. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. I think I know how I'm going to fix this. Yeah, in fact, it just enabled itself as soon as I clicked the map. Okay, I got it. I complicated Nui's repro. So all we need to do here is we only care that if auto repeat was on to begin with, auto repeat button, not button pressed. Yeah. Because this is edit party. Set press no signal. We only we want to know that it was we only want to do this if it was on to begin with. So if it's not on, just return. Hey Campbell Soup. Hey Joss. Is it overwhelming having such a huge list of to-dos? Okay, so there are two parts to that question. One is having the things to do, and the other is having a list of those things. So as an example, when your dishes are dirty, whether or not you wrote it down, you need clean dishes, right? So is it troublesome for me to have some to-do list that says something like clean the dishes? No. Is it troublesome to have that much stuff to do? Yeah, a little bit. And that's just part and parcel of making a large project, I think. So in my mind, the list is just for organization and actually makes me feel better that I'm tracking this stuff so I don't need it in my head and I won't forget stuff. And a lot of the way that large to-do lists typically work is you've got, let's say 100 items. After a certain amount of time, like 10 of those are just going to be stale and you can just delete them. So probably if I were to just go through the whole 49 pages of stuff right now and all the GitHub issues, yeah, there'd probably be like 10 to 20% that I could just ignore. Once I figured out how to get the next quest, quest required cloak and I couldn't get past the ogre. I just started buying things and then randomly upgraded the portal and tried the new area. Maybe I missed a tip or something if there was one. Yeah, there was a tip to upgrade. Yeah. And the only way it should have gone away is if you manually dismissed it, but you could have saved and loaded the game and then you wouldn't have seen it. What's a resume-worthy project for someone with no work experience? I think it's something relevant to the work experience you want. So if you want to get a job in web dev, then make a site. If you want to get a job in game dev, then make a game. If you want, and so on and so forth, right? And then what exactly would these sites or these games be? And I think it's something that shows off your skill, probably something you put in the public GitHub repo, and probably something that involves you learning. You could say, I didn't know this, and I set out to do this because I'm looking for a job and want to prove I can learn new technologies, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's very challenging right now because apparently hiring managers are getting spammed by AI applications. So I'm not sure how many people are even going the extra mile and looking at a GitHub at this point. Maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. Yeah. So does this fix this and not cause any other problems? Win this battle. I click here. Okay, it looks like it's working fine. But now what if we had auto battling on? Wait, is it working fine? Yeah. Yeah, if we had auto battle on, and then we were auto battling over here, get rid of this. Turn this on. And now when I edit this, it should turn it off. Perfect, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think this is fixed. AI application spam for jobs that aren't real recs. What a timeline. I mean, they might be real. I'm sure some of them are real. But I think that's a problem with any sort of listing of something. You'll have real ones, you'll have fake ones. But of the real ones, they're still getting the same spam that the fake ones are getting. So yes, I'm sure this category exists where there are fake recs and then just spam for them. But yeah, unfortunately, this is a problem for everybody involved. How, as a hiring manager, do you go through like 3,000 applications? And how do you stand out if you are an applicant and there are 2,999 other applicants? And I don't think it bodes well for the future of job hunting. All right, so fixed bug that Nui reported. Clicking a node on on the battle map would set that would try disabling auto map. Or no, it was editing your party that did that. Editing your party would disable auto battle, which would allow you to repeat the battle, even if it was a boss battle that you shouldn't have been able to repeat. Now, we only call the effects of disabling auto battle if it was enabled to begin with. Cool. All in who you know nowadays, networking to get buddies to submit your resume who usually shortlists you. But yeah, it's crazy out there now. Well, and also it's like, how do you break into that chain? If you don't already have the connections, you got to go find them. You probably can't just do it online because it'd be the same spam arena that it is right now. So you probably have to go to like meetups and conventions and stuff. And those are already networking nightmares, I think, for a lot of people. It's like, how many conventions have slowly shifted into, hey, this company is just trying to hire people, and everyone's sharing their resume with everybody else. It's still better than the online spam fest, but yeah, probably still tough. All right, when I initially opened the battle map, in the map, the location name at the bottom left is outside the box. I wonder if this is related to an issue that we just haven't fixed. Did you save and load, Nui, to get to that? Because you said when you initially opened it, but it was open to the canyon, so it couldn't have been the first time you opened it. It might have been that you upgraded and then saved and then loaded and then it was broken. It's not broken there. I'm not sure what would do this. I'm actually also not sure how a tooltip wouldn't expand to fill its content. Load. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Do this again. Started from a new game, never loaded the save game. Okay. So what I'm doing is not helpful, but I'm still gonna try it anyway. Yeah, okay, did not repro. Okay, so other couple of things, Nui. What is the game scale that you're on? So if you press escape and go to settings, are you on 1, 2, 3, or 4? Because I wonder if that has something to do with this. Opened it for the first time. Hang on a second. The map, the location name at the bottom left, outside the box partially. Play on 1x. Also, the bugging occurred once after I did the elite battle and clicked on the card. It fixed itself afterward. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a very good thing for me to know. Let me write this stuff down too. I'm guessing this is... Actually, I still don't know what this could be without looking into it. All right, so on 1x, we beat this battle. And then we click this. Aha! It is wrong. Look at that. And I'm guessing this doesn't have anything to do with the game skill. It fixed itself then, just like Nui said. But how about now? Yeah, it happens even on 2x. Okay, so how is that possible? How is that possible? Battle panel. Selected instance label is a rich text label set to fit content. And it doesn't have clip on it, does it? It does have clip contents. How could it have both? I think we just disable this. And then it should work. Huh. All right, let's try that again. Start that. Oops, not that. What happened there? Value cannot be null. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. Free adventurers from battle is trying to cancel a party in transit. Eject. Trying to free this node, and this has already been freed, I guess. Huh. Yeah, I need to think about that. Hey, Siyash, I'm doing well. Maybe something else is breaking, that's why the label doesn't update. It could be that. Where do I provide feedback? The best way is to press escape in the game and click the provide feedback button, because that'll use the survey form. And thanks for playing, Zaphwood. All right, yeah, we got to figure out what's going on here. I think first let's make sure we have the repro for this, because I just did this. Yeah, otherwise I don't see why the label wouldn't grow. Yeah, it could be the clip contents thing, but let's try it out. First, let's do what I did. I broke this the first time. I hit start battle and canceled, and then start battle again, and debug speed up, and it failed. Yeah. So start battle, cancel, start battle, debug speed up. And that breaks this. Eject is coming from canceling here. And what, the adventurer is disposed? Cannot access a disposed object. It shouldn't be this. It's not that. We got rid of its container holding components? What? What? I don't know how that's possible. This is going to fail? Name adventurer doesn't exist. Whoops. Expression has been evaluated. No value. No components found on entity. This is this is scary. I wonder how this got messed up. We're trying to free an adventurer, I think. They're not supposed to be free. Hey, Dark. Okay, well, I'll just put a breakpoint here when we do this. But only the second time? Maybe not the second time. Let's do it the first time, too. Okay, so start and then cancel. So this is correct. It should be calling this. We go through each adventurer, which is just the one. We get their component, which should print out. Good. Then we call wander around town, which sounds fine. Then we free the party in transit, which will eventually call into dispose, which will just get rid of a particular listener on here, which should also be fine. Oh, it already failed even there? That's not what I would expect. It canceled a second time? Free adventurers from battle calls cancel? Oh. Okay, well, that's not good. All right, so we need to figure out both of these stack traces. Let's restart. I'll just copy them both. I guess I could have copied the second one. I was thinking I'll start with the first, but there's no reason to do that. But it doesn't matter, it's very fast. All right, so here's number one, copy. First call stack is there. And the second one is there. Okay, when we free up the instance slot. So when you cancel this, on cancel button pressed is actually in walking to portal. We have an anonymous method here. This should null out the party in transit. Party in transit cancel. Yeah, party in transit equals null. So canceling it is enough to free it. So we don't need to ever free it again. There, yeah. Also, this is technically, this could just be like this. There we go. So we should only ever cancel this thing once. In fact, we should just make that a function. Wait a second, make this a function. We should just, wait a second. What is this doing? It's just calling eject. But we could have ejected it from a different thing altogether, which is the cancel button. But the cancel button calls into this too. Hold on. I gotta think about this. I think we can simplify this. Here is you pressing the cancel button. And disposing this should do the same thing. We need to know the instance isn't null though. But do we really? Do we? Because the party in transit already has this thing, doesn't it? The party in transit might not have existed. Hey, Puka. Does the tooltip also spawn for you with quite a big offset on the augment portal button? Looks kind of weird when you hover it from below. It should always be the same offset. Let me take a quick look at that. I can ignore that. Oh, it crashes the game though. Okay. Hey, Tony. And hey, War Eagle. Reading Skeledev. I'm here to develop skeletons. I think every tooltip should have the same distance from where the mouse is. And it probably should be that distance no matter what. Does the same thing happen with the items? Yeah, I think that's just how we do our tooltips. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's a bug there at least. Also, I think as a player, it's like when you hover over something, regardless of where you're hovering it from, you'll realize that, okay, that tooltip is a result of that. And as I mentioned, it is the same as every other tooltip in the game. And I think it should be offset by some amount so you're not covering the thing with your cursor. Okay, so the question is, can we consolidate cancel and free adventurers? And I don't know the answer for that yet. Because there's one case I'm not totally sure about, which is when can this be called and this is null? Also, did we fix this problem? Because we should have. This code alone at the top should have fixed it. Let me make sure it's fixed. So we just start and then cancel, and that should not have caused an issue. And now we do the same thing, start and then speed up. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem there. Okay, so how do we get this to the point where this is null? If instance is null, whoops, what am I doing? If instance is null, then test. I don't care. I just want to set a breakpoint here. I know I can set a conditional breakpoint, but I find it's easiest to just do this. That way it doesn't say something like, oh, couldn't evaluate the condition at runtime because it couldn't access something. Because, yeah, I don't know when this happens. Oh, I guess when you haven't made it to the battle yet. Oh. Yeah. So then what's the fallout of doing that? If I click cancel, it should bring it. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So we can't call this, but party in transit is going to get canceled, and that's going to call it anyway. So are these two things ever different, I wonder? Ollie, thanks for the raid. How goes it? How you doing? How's Ollie's chat doing? Would you all say there's an amazing community? It's a very leading question. About tooltips, delayed tooltip for the save settings button is in a hard to read color. Yeah, the delayed tooltips all need to be deleted. I wonder if we should prioritize that. Get rid of all built-in tooltips. They're just stupid. Yeah, welcome in, Raiders. For those who have not seen what I'm working on, there's a quick trailer. It's about 40 seconds long, but I'm making a game. I'm trying to fix some bugs, I'm trying to address feedback. We have some upcoming Steam festivals I'm getting ready for, and it is essentially crunch time. So if instance is not null, is this always going to match what the party in transit was? And I do not know the answer to that, so let's go try that out. Let's get rid of this breakpoint and put it here. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. So I flee the battle and then close this? No, what even calls this? Instance slot calls free adventurers from battle. Disable auto repeat does? Okay. This is maybe gonna be a little bit difficult. All right, we start a battle. We finish the battle. We start auto repeat and then turn it off. Did that just crash? No, it broke in. All right, so this call's free. Now, is this the same as what we had in party in transit? Party in transit dot adventurers. Count equals 1. It should be the rogue. Yeah, and I'm guessing it's the same as this. These numbers are the same? Yeah, they are. So I don't think this is necessary. But maybe if they're already in the portal, it's necessary. So I turn on auto battle, and then I turn it off at the end of the fight. And now party in transit doesn't exist. Aha. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, Ollie. Happy raid. Happy raid. All right, so I'll write that down. This is possible if you were auto battling. And then canceled after a battle ends. Party is in the portal already. So there's, well, no, this is possible in a bunch of ways. But the party in transit is null in this case, and that's all I care about. No one would care about that comment in the future. Let me leave this here for now, and I'll probably delete this before I commit. Party in transit is set. Had to go in today, but it was intense. We're all tired. Yeah, I wonder if you feel like the intensity is increasing or decreasing, because there's a lot of depth in really any technology. And at first, it's all new, so it's tough. And then at some point, now it's deeper and more complex, so it's tough. So is it getting easier or harder? Something funky going on in the party in transit. I mean, this is working as intended. It's just I wanted to consolidate these things, which is that anytime we cancel this, we also free the adventurers from battle. I guess that's going to happen there. All right, well, I'll just make a function for that then. And then I think we're good. Private void cancel party in transit. There we go. And then just call this from here. And the other one's tabbed in farther, so we can't do that. We'll get there. There we go. Okay. On cancel walk to portal invoke. That's good. And that's good. Yeah, cool. I think we fixed it. Doubling down on things that I've learned about in the past. So in a way getting easier, but at the same time, it's always something new. Yeah, at some point, I think you'd feel like you have enough tools to be able to tackle problems. And I'm not saying that you know how to tackle the problem in its entirety, but you have the tools to go seek out new tools. And you're probably very close to that point if you don't feel like you're there already. I'm purposely doing this, but it's just funny to watch a row go back and forth. Okay, I think this is fixed. Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. This is not the thing we were testing here. What we were testing originally is what happens when you open up the battle map. What was a repro for that? How do we get that label to be stuck? We upgrade the portal, we start a battle, we speed it up and then win it. And then click edit. No, it's still broken. So I don't think this has to do with there being a bug. I think it might just be the clip contents thing. Let's turn this off and then try this out. Hey, Pressel. Fun times though. I'm glad, because I think that's important. I truly think that if the learning process is not fun, that people will just give up sooner. I don't think people want a headache when they're learning. Upgrade, start, win. It's still broken. What is going on? What? could cause that to happen? It should grow to accommodate it? Uh, yeah, it should. I don't I don't understand this. It clearly can expand. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's a skull glyph doesn't have the right size or something. Yeah, these expand for sure. How do we type this skull glyph? It's like a Mew character or something like that. How do I type it? How do I search for skull? I can't. There's like a skull character. Oh man. All right, well, let's look at it in instance map, I guess. Is this where the level exists? Yeah. Elite symbol. It's not called skull symbol. Okay. So the elite symbol is this character, but only in a specific font, right? These do expand this correctly. Oh. Hmm. I assumed Pretzel. Maybe the label is fine as the container that's not growing. But when I change it through the editor, no matter what I change here, if I just put a bunch of characters, it it expands. Hey, Grace, it's going well. I'm solving some kind of minor issues. I feel like it's taking me a long time. Can you launch from Godot and check the remote tree to see their sizes? Yeah, actually, I already had launched from Godot, and now I think I've messed a bunch of things up. I turned on clip contents, but otherwise nothing. Oh, I never checked this in. Whoops. Let's check this in first. Yeah, this is fix bug with canceling a battle. It was freeing party in transit twice, which was causing an exception. Might be due to the way you're programmatically adding it. It shouldn't matter. And it might, but it shouldn't. So this is just win the battle and then click edit. Win boss battle and then edit party. That's the repro for this. So now let's go try this out. Okay, so there's the problem. Now we're gonna go look at this in the remote scene tree. And what's this thing called? Elite symbol is in text. Okay, I see. Text is here. Text is set on the instance points tooltip. Okay. No, wait. That one's used for... Where is that? This should be called from multiple locations, right? There it is. Selected instance label. That's what we want. All right, what's the name of that? Name of that is... It's exported. So it's set through the battle panel. So we just should search for the battle panel end. There it is. Okay. Now let's look underneath. Oh my God. Sometimes it drives me nuts. There's no way to like go to that thing after you've searched for it. I want to see it in context. Battle panel. It's in the instance map, I guess. Where's the instance map? Did it expand it? Oh, here it is. Panel container. Here it is. All right. So the size is here. The label is set correctly. Let's go. Here's what it's set to. I don't know if that's gonna matter. I don't think it would. Any other things we need? Auto wrap is off. Alignment tab stops. Size of the label. Panel size. 9760. And the position is 294,409. And then the label size is 9241. Okay, so there's only 5 pixels difference, which probably means yes, there's an issue here because there should be some padding on either side, which would suggest that the panel's not being sized correctly. But why would that be the case? And what if, how would it fix itself afterward? There must be some other thing that's not happening here. Because if right now it's messed up, if I click another thing and then click back here, it's not messed up. So it knows how to expand then. Oh, maybe it's because the contents change while this is invisible. That could be it. Could be that the contents are changing while the panel is invisible. Yeah. Yeah. So this would also happen if... Okay, hold on. I have an idea. We need the word volcano to be larger. All instance data, volcano, with a long name. All right. This'll confirm my hunch, I think. So now we can do the same general steps, not exactly the same. We start a battle here, we win it, and then we just press M. Weirdly enough, that works totally fine. Oh, why? Why? I wonder. Okay, well, we're opening the dialogue a different way. That could be why, but I'd be kind of surprised. It doesn't do that with the volcano when I press M. Maybe it has to do with how I open the dialogue. Have you figured out the button? Yes. Oh my God, that was very difficult. So I drew this out, and it's probably not going to make a lot of sense when I draw it out, but we had a button. So we had a texture, and this is 20 pixels long. And then we have a left margin, which was set to 16. And we had a right margin, which was set to 16. And I think the problem is that 16 and 16 is more than 20, but I'm not sure. And I haven't looked into a minimal repro yet. But when I turn these numbers into different numbers, then it all worked out fine. So it didn't make sense. Why is this only happening for that button? Oh, no, it was happening for other ones too, I think. But why was it only happening on some graphics drivers? And yeah, I don't know. I got to file a bug for that. Not marginal at all. Anyway, that was a very, very frustrating bug, as was the freeze stuff. That was very difficult to figure out. All right, so how do we open the dialog when you press M? UI toggle battle panel. We just call this, which just changes the visibility, and that's it. And that can't be any different from editing the party, right? In battle screen, edit party, on edit party.invoke. Something must just toggle this as well, right? Edit battle party, show. So they're being shown the same way, but when you edit the battle party, it sets the selected instance ID. I guess that part's a little different. Out of curiosity, what if we made it so that it would select the volcano instance ID? Would that cause the problem? It might fail because you shouldn't be able to select it if you don't have it unlocked. So we do a battle in the forest, and then we click edit Yeah, I think we need to unlock everything first. All right, so let's do another edit. Oh, it worked that time. What is going on? Oh, I wonder if it's the font. I wonder if it's adding a skull glyph. Well, why would that even matter? Huh, that was kind of funny. But that was due to click and grab most things. So we battle here. And then flee and then edit. Oh, it's always going to go back to the volcano, right? Because of this. I don't know what could cause this. And this is a really minor bug, but it's mostly academic curiosity at this point, and also we should fix it. Like, Canyon is showing here just fine, and the skull is inside the tooltip, and then we start a battle. If we lose, does it still happen? It doesn't happen if you lose. It only happens if you win. It got super large now. What? Did I do that? What even? Oh, you know what's probably happening? Oh, I think I know what's happening. I think it's getting sized to the size of the volcano name for some reason. Wow, that's something else. All right, yeah, that must be what's happening. It's apparently only when you win a boss battle. And then this is the tooltip is getting sized based on the length of the volcano's display name. Maybe you're setting the info after you show it in one version compared to the other. It's probably something like that, because when you beat the boss, we select a different node in the battle map, which updates the tooltip. Then we show the battle map later. But the part that didn't make sense there, hold on, let me try something else again here. Why didn't this seem to happen when I just pressed M? Oh, because then it's going to go to the volcano, because that's what's selected. So we added this, we're selected. Okay, yeah, I see. The reason this only happens through the boss battle is because of these steps. You win. It sets the selected location to the volcano. It presumably updates the tooltip. And then at a later time, you click edit party, which will set the location back to the canyon. So we need to select it before showing. We need to select it again after showing, because we're selecting it before showing it now. We select it while the panel's not open, even though battle map isn't showing. Set the location back to the oh wait, no, maybe no, sorry, this one. Yeah, this one might be happening in the wrong order. I don't know. Let's go find out. So we have an edit battle party. This calls into here, calls into here. So this calls show and then sets the selected instance. If we just called show at the end of this, would it work? Select the edit party one after showing. Yeah. But why doesn't that work? What's the difference between clicking it? Because clicking it should just set it to selected also. Yeah, it's fixed now. But I don't get when it wasn't fixed. So if I put this back at the beginning, how did it work? You need to wait a frame or two. Let's wait 1.75 frames just to be safe. So if I click this, I don't get it. What's different there? When you click something, what's happening? Instance map, not this one. Instance map.cs. Click. On click location point. Set selected instance ID. Are we not doing that? Where did the battle panel go? Here it is. Set selected instance ID. What? Oh, it actually might be that. Yeah, it might be that the size is wrong, and then we do need to wait a frame. Oh my god. That'd be ridiculous. All right, let's try that out. Public void. I hate this thing. It should actually be a task. And we need to await process frame. This is so stupid. And then do this stuff. I'm gonna comment this out for now. And let's call this with the instance. All right, now what's the problem here? Task doesn't exist. Await can only be used. Oh, I gotta mark this async. Okay, there we go. So does that fix this too? I defer a frame so all containers are updated properly. It's just too bad you have to do this. I bet this bites like everybody who uses Godot. Draws the panel that same frame, then you change the label. The panel doesn't update because it already got drawn that frame. Something like that. It's kind of weird. It doesn't trigger a new update. All right, so we do the same steps we just did. And then we click edit and it works now. Yeah. All right. Well, rather than defer this, I'd rather just call show a little bit later. Yeah. Show the panel last so that the size of the tooltip container is computed correctly. God, it's so stupid. We don't have any other things where this could happen, right? No. Also, what does just show this dialogue? Is this a visibility change thing? It is. Instead of waiting the frame, can't you not wait and update it when ready to update one frame later? I am not trying to be dense here intentionally, but it sounds like you're saying instead of waiting, can't you just wait? Are you if you're updating it when it's ready one frame later, you're waiting one frame. Something is wrong if we have to skip frames in multiple places like this? Well, I mean, this is how Godot works, is the size of a container is not computed correctly on the first time this thing updates. Yeah. And I've got a bunch of different references to this stuff from like people who worked on Godot saying this. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think there's much we can do about that. So skipping the frame when it's ready, one frame later, update it. Yeah, but what I'm saying is the one frame later is wait a frame and then do something, right? I guess what I mean is like, how do you do something one frame later unless you're waiting for one frame? Like that's the definition of doing something later, is you're not doing it now. You might be trying to communicate something else. I'm not sure what it is. And like I said, I'm not trying to be dense. This is me honestly asking. I'm not trying to sound pedantic or anything. Oh, the keyword is skipping a frame? Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, we're not skipping a frame. Typically do something like this, call deferred setup, function setup, void my setup. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in this case, we don't need to do anything deferred. We just need to change the order of stuff. Yeah, just delete this and delete this and delete this. All right. So I don't think we need to worry about the clip contents. I mean, we'll try it one more time before I check in, but I think we're good. We also don't need this. Volcano with a long name. Although if we keep it there for now, it'll help us make this a lot easier to test. So let's try it out one more time. Like an async process, update it when ready while doing other things. I think I see what you're saying, but that's still waiting. an asynchronous process might not get it done one frame later, but it's still waiting until not the current frame. But either way, we don't have to in this particular case because the issue was the order of show and update tooltip or something like that. So we originally had them like 1 and then 2, and we just had to change it to 2 and then 1. And it should be fine. Let's try this again and just make certain it's fine. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so let's check that in without this change. So it should just be the 1 line of code. Yep. Fix bug that Nui found. Or I should say fix another bug because I think it's another commit message. The repro was fight in the canyon, win, edit your party. At that point, the canyon's tooltip saying canyon skull would be sized as though it were the volcano's tooltip. This is because we were setting the selected instance ID before showing the battle panel. I just changed the order, deferring the call to, or like waiting for 1 frame would also have worked, but it would have been more code. Okay. All right, so that's done. Get rid of all built-in tooltips. All right, I'm going to do this after I get back from a break because I want to take a little bit of a break right now. I really should have like half an hour ago. Is it jump time? Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, for those who haven't seen this, just type join in Twitch chat, and then you can jump with J and a number. It's pretty easy. You can look at the examples here. I will be back in just a little bit. Hello again. All right. Knew he had said something just before I left. Let me get that again. Close the game. Just notice in the battle map on the adventurers, just below the adventure icon, there are a couple of rows where the cursor is visually in the card, but can't be selected visually. Okay, I assume you mean this. Oh, you know what's good? You know what's doing that? The label is probably absorbing clicks. Oh man, that's a really good catch, Newey. I'm giving you a point. Wow. Party member base. Yeah, it's this. This just needs to be set to not take mouse clicks. Ignore, and we're fixing it. There, done. Two Dorks, welcome back. Thank you for the 7 months. What's the shortcut? Command Shift O for me. But it should be in the editor settings somewhere. I can tell you the name of the shortcut, I guess. Filter by event. It's called Quick Open Scene. Always lurking and working. Glad to hear it. Hope it's going well. All right, so let's try this. Now you should be able to click anywhere over here. Yeah. Good job, Newey. I have dots returned at that time already. Thank you too, Funky Monkey. Funky Monkey, I tagged you on a message on Discord, and in typical Funky Monkey fashion, you ignored it. It might sound like I'm calling you out. I'm actually not. I recognize you hardly ever use Discord, I think. I was like, he's never responding to this, is he? It was actually only like 2 weeks, I think. True, true. Yeah. Okay. Fix yet another Newey bug. The party members were absorbing clicks on their skill point labels. It's not a super important message. Otherwise, I would have pinged you again or harassed you or something. I don't know. Okay, so the next thing we're going to fix is a much larger change that is easy, but super annoying. So we need to find every single instance of tooltip text. Oh, actually, that's not that many. We need to find every single instance of this and replace them with proper tooltips. So let's go find the issue, tooltip, close out of all these. You know what's funny? So I have a shortcut, which is Command Alt Shift W. And if I have a bunch of tabs open, it'll close all the tabs to the right of that. But in Google Docs, they absorb that shortcut. So I can't actually use it here. So I have to switch to the second tab and then press the shortcut and then switch back to the first tab, which is stupid. Or I have to go to the address bar. That works too. It's just the document itself that's absorbing it. All right, what was I going to do? I was going to look up tooltip and see the one that says change all this stuff to new tooltips. I think it has a word built in. We'll search for built in. Stop using this. Yeah. So I'm going to assign this to myself. And we're going to mark this as what we're doing. Okay, stop using them so that there's consistent styling. They don't take so long to pop up. We want them to take a long time. We should make a custom component. Should be easy enough to search through this. May help for repeat battle. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. This I definitely want to do though. Pretty much everything new he says we need to work on. Those tree-related errors in the console are caused by those delayed tooltips. Oh, interesting. Really? Wow, I'm writing that in the bug. Also. It's pretty crazy. Okay. So yeah, we got to change all these things. This says return to the game. What? Doesn't even make any sense. It's on the save button? I think this was a copy-paste error. And I don't think save game needs a tooltip. No, maybe it does. Maybe we talk about autosave there. No, it says save your game. What? Where? I'm confused. It says save button. Oh, oh, this is the wrong settings thing. It's here. Whoops. Return to the game. I'm just going to delete this. We're not going to make a new one for it. Yeah, there, done. Okay, now the town menu has a million of these things. So let's go change those around. Or in-game menu, I mean. In-game menu. Okay, let's see. Which ones have this? The close menu button. Does it need it? Return to the game? I don't know. Here's something I'm curious about, which is if we have, I don't know, 8 buttons or something, right? If 7 of the buttons have a tooltip, should the 8th one have it even if it's not really needed? Like quit game, I think is pretty obvious to everyone who ever opens up any game. It's going to quit the game. So if every other button has a tooltip, should we put one on here so people aren't like, there's no tooltip on that button? I don't know. But I think the self-explanatory ones, it shouldn't be needed. Like provide feedback probably needs one. This is something we only have for the demo. But yeah, I think I'm going to delete them for ones where it's not really necessary. Consistency is good. All right. I've tricked Funky Monkey into answering me here and doing my work for me. So change of plans for putting them on every button. Thanks, Funky Monkey. All right, let's go do this. Tooltip on parent. We don't actually have a tooltip thing here, though. We might need to use them in the town, and we might need to just put one in here. So let's instantiate a tooltip. And we're done. And then let's put this over there. We'll just say something like add text here for now. I want to delete it from this so we can find it. Where is it? Where did tooltips go? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's try that. This is probably, okay, I'm confused. There should be a way to set the tooltip to this, right? I don't know what's going on. All right, whatever, we're just gonna try running the game. This will not save the game. It could, although it really just should save the game. Quit game. No, I don't have an issue on that. Yeah, of course this isn't gonna work. But I don't understand why this isn't showing up. There's some like there should be a button here that says tooltip right at the very top. And it's not there, and I don't know how to get it to be there. Building should have done this, and it didn't. Maybe if I just reload the whole project. Quit to desktop, quit to the game main menu. Yeah, quit to desktop would be good there for sure. Yep, there it is. There's the button. So yeah, I had to reload the project to get that to show up. All right, return to the game. Cool. Settings button. What is your tooltip? Open the settings menu. We're going to copy that for now, I guess, but we can try to make this a little bit better in the future. Save game. Did you have a tooltip? All right, why am I having like the hardest time figuring out where the tooltip is in this thing? I'm just going to favorite it for now. Favorite. There, now it'll always show at the top. All right, so save your game. Game auto saves every so often. Good. Load a saved game. Open Steam page. Did I already put that on there? Yes. Oh my God, I'm doing this wrong. There. Fixed all that. All right, what do we have next? Give feedback. Return to title. And the final one here is quick game. We can say quit to desktop. Okay, now delete that. All right, so that's everything. Now we need to set the tooltip property on this. We can unfavorite this. Oh, I only duplicated some of them. All right, well, I think we can set multiple at once. And there we go. Let's try it out. Game was last saved X minutes ago. Then you have to have a script. Yeah, or even just plugging in how often it autosaves. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I think just having something here is good. So return to the game, open the settings menu. Why are those other tooltips showing up still? Didn't I delete those? I swear, this thing. Apparently it did not persist that. I think it's fixed now. Okay. So now they should no longer have those tooltips. It should just be the new ones. Open the settings menu, save your game. Is there a space at the beginning of that? How did I manage to mess up copy pasting text? There isn't. Oh, there is. Yeah, there is. Wow. Load a saved game. Wishlist the game on Steam to get notified when it's released. Help support development of the game by providing your feedback. Return to the touchscreen. Quit to the desktop. Cool. Wait, did you just start this or is this an update? Never mind, I saw that. Okay, so Michael. And Godot, is it better to work on the start screen first or make the game then make the start screen? I don't think that's a Godot specific question. And I think it all depends on what you find, like why you're working on the game. If it's have fun, if it's learn, then I'd probably say do whatever you find fun or whatever you find interesting. But if it's to make a product, I would say think of what you want new players to experience first. So in my mind, a title screen is optional for a demo. Well, a demo, like a prototype. A demo, it's probably important. But if you're just like, hey, friends, try out this game and tell me if it's fun, the title screen is not going to influence whether or not it's fun for them. I would say it's not worth... Okay. If you're making a product, it's not worth making a product that you don't know has a market fit yet. And for that, I would test out the game itself and make sure your core is good. And then the title screen can always be done afterward. I prefer exit to desktop over quick game. I think I'd have to see what other games do for this sort of thing. The reason I like quick game is it's universal to all platforms. So you would see quick game on a mobile game and you'd see quick game on a desktop game. But let's just look at Minecraft. Menu screen. I wonder what they say. They say quick game, but then again, we don't know what version this is. Well, Java, that means it's not the phone version. Or maybe, I don't even know if that means that. But anyway, I'm not concerned about the wording. I think either way, if you're looking how to quit the game, you will look at probably just the bottommost thing on here, or the topmost thing. All right, anyway, those are all done. Now we only have, what, 7 more of these? Title screen had game settings and game credits. All right, let's look at the title screen. Yeah, game credit, game setting. I think we can put one on the Steam button as well. Let's go do that. Want to learn how to navigate through the settings with just the keyboard, so sometimes it's a good option. What? Start a new project from the main menu because I want to learn how to navigate through the settings with just a keyboard. You're talking about Godot? Maybe it's going to be browser based, so quick game doesn't fit as much unless there's something I don't know. Oh yeah, you don't need a quick game button if you're on browser. It would just close the tab if it were to do anything, and you probably don't have control over that anyway. Title screen. Okay to link you to a site if you wonder what other games quick game UI looks like. Oh, the game UI site? I have seen that site. I probably should bookmark that. Also, I am assuming. Yes, it's fine for you to link to it, yeah. And thanks for asking. All right, so tooltip. What are we gonna say here? Oh, we don't even have a tooltip on the title screen. I need to make that. Tooltip, done. And then this should use the tooltip. And then let's just say testeroni here, because I don't even know if this is gonna work. Well, I mean, it doesn't now, but I may need to restart this. Oh, nice, it does work. Okay, cool. Is auto save hard to set up in Godot? Again, I wouldn't really say it's a Godot thing. So the way that I'm saving is there's a function, right? So like imagine a void save function. And what this does is it computes the game state and then saves to a save.json file. To auto save, put very simply, you will just have something like a start a timer and then timer dot on timeout we'll just call save. And that's it. It's pretty much just 2 lines of code. Now, it is not necessarily that way, depending on what you want for autosave. Maybe it saves to a backup file and your main save's different or something. But in general, yeah, the most basic form of autosave is very, very simple to set up. Some games do have separate autosaves from regular saves. A lot of open world games do that so that you don't accidentally overwrite your progress. But in this game, there's nothing to overwrite. Everything can be undone. Or if it can't be undone, it's only a straight up benefit. So imagine a game where, I don't know, you can choose between like good or evil, and you choose evil. You wouldn't want that to auto save in case you were like, oh, I don't want to wipe out my whole 15-hour save file. Okay, start a new fantastic game of Skeleseller. Shilling? I don't know what you're talking about. Load from a saved game. Quit. I should say the thing I said for the other thing. What did I say? Quit to the desktop. Quit to the desktop. All right. Oh, Kerpolini, thanks for the sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Single players also just listen to some signals to trigger a save as an autosave. I mean, single player games. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, like, you got to a new area, autosave, or you're on a loading screen, autosave. I can set the timer to be based around a slider so the player can change when it saves. Yeah, it should be that simple. And like I said, you can add complexity as you need it. If you do need separate save slots or you only want it to happen on loading screens or something like that, yeah, it should be easy enough to just call your save function. Want me to turn it into multiplayer? If you're new to game dev and if you're new to Godot, I would say to just focus on the single player experience of whatever game you're making at first, unless it requires multiplayer from the get-go. And even then, maybe just think of making like an AI to control players instead. Only because multiplayer is going to add an entire layer of extra stuff that if you've never made a game before will probably be more frustrating than it will be fun. And yeah, and the other thing I would say is there have certainly been games out there that have launched as single player and then converted to multiplayer or mods added multiplayer or something like that. That's not an easy process. Just keep that in mind. And another reason why it's not an easy process is for just game reasons, not even technical reasons. Like if you make, let's say, a Zelda game and it's single player, then enemies take a certain amount of damage before you kill them. You find a certain amount of items. Well, now if you have 2 or 3 or 4 links in the game, you probably need more items. You probably need them to, your characters to do a little less damage or for enemies to have more health. It's like there's a bunch of game balance reasons too, and just game design. Like, what does it mean if 4 people are solving puzzles? Do they all have something to do? So the Zelda games that were multiplayer, like 4 Swords, made the puzzles around you having many players. I did not mean to delete this. There's no text here. All right, this one did have a tooltip. Game settings. Let's open the game settings. Steam button, open the Steam page. Please consider wish listing the game. Credits button. View the game credits. See who worked on the game. Maybe credits. See who worked on the game. I want it to be an EM dash, but I don't know if that's going to render in our font. And I don't think it will. So I'll just say see who worked on the game. And that's it. Okay, let's try it out. I think we need to go back to the title screen for it to work though, right? Start a new fantastic game of Skeleseller. I actually don't think these buttons should have tooltips at all. I think this looks silly. I'm going to delete them. Because they have text on them. And to me, that's good enough. Okay, yeah, so they're gone from here, but down here, and I know that I'm covering this with my camera, open the game settings, open the Steam page, and see who worked on the game. Now we need to delete the built-in tooltip that we had for that, which I shall do right now. Done. All right, and then the only other thing where we had this was the town menu. We got to go do that. Where to get the assets from? Look at that link. Figured there's a way to set dungeons up as randomly generated. Once one player goes in, that specific dungeon is locked to that player by their name. That way another player can go into the same dungeon, but a different map of it. Yeah, something like that would be possible. Like I said, I really strongly suggest to just consider the complexity of making a multiplayer game versus a single player game. And you will probably be grateful as you develop to just be working on a single player game. And if, I don't know, maybe you get a month in and you're like, this game doesn't work as a single player game. Then yeah, by all means add in multiplayer, but I think starting with it can make it a lot tougher. And I guess it works the other way around too. You can't just have every multiplayer game work as a single player game. Like, it's a good example of this. Like Fall Guys. If you didn't have other players, it's you can't have a battle royale with one player to begin with. You just take you right to the win screen. Okay, so I want this for every button in here. And we don't have a tooltip here, but it's the town menu. So we need to set this up. Oh wait, we have one here. Set through code. Toggle skill tree button tooltip. Toggle skill tree button tooltip. I see. And we set this to the town tooltip. Interesting. Okay. Doesn't make sense to be single, but I have to suss out the bugs before I even think of making multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah, and if you have experience or you're a software developer already, I think making a multiplayer game is totally fine. It's just if you're new to an engine, or if you're new to game development, or you're new to development in general, then I'd say it's probably a better idea to try single player. Okay, so I want this on everything. Battle map originally said nothing. Now it's going to say something. Open the map to be able to start a battle or upgrade your portal. Hire adventurer. Did not have a tooltip. Hire another adventurer. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Toggle town perks. Buy perks to improve your town. Quest button. Buildings. See which buildings and upgrades you can obtain. Yep. And hint. That's gotta get deleted. Such a stupid dialogue. Oh man. All right, well, it exists for now, so let's put that there. All right, have I gotten rid of all the tooltip text? I apparently have not. View adventurer information and customize your adventurers. How did I miss this? Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting. What does that say when you don't have unspent skill points? I actually don't know. It doesn't say anything. Okay, well, that's not good. Let's go make it say something. So where's the... Yeah, here. Set text and update tooltip text. There it is. Yeah, so instead of empty, we could say here something like this. View adventurer information and customize your adventurers. And I'll say and spend skill points. You can also unspend skill points. Customize yours and customize their skills. That's pretty good. Is Unity's multiplayer system so much it feels like a crutch sometimes? Couldn't imagine trying multiplayer in another engine. Yeah, I think Unity and Unreal have more mature multiplayer solutions. I don't think Godot has a very mature solution. And I think leaning on the engine is totally fine if it's working for you and doesn't incur like extra costs or anything. I don't have that much experience. I'm new to coding, especially with Godot. I have a shoot 'em up that's a clone of an old SNES game. Is it Arrow Fighters? The clone, I mean, that I started, but I couldn't get the upgrade bar to work properly. Then I found Godot and made a side scroller, but I never finished it. Yeah. So, my very strong advice based on seeing this sort of template play out in the stream a bunch of times is definitely pursue a single player game and probably consider something like this, which I have finally bookmarked. Take a look at this site. Whoops. What is going on? There we go. So this is the 20 games challenge. And it's just a list of games that are probably a good idea to work through and increasing complexity. Like start with Pong, just make Pong. Here are the goals. Hit those goals, you're good. If you want to, do the stretch goals. But then, yeah, move on to something else. You'll learn so many different things by going through even just the top like 3 or 4 games here. And then if you feel confident, move on for sure. But if you don't feel confident, just keep pursuing games like that. Gradius 3, yeah. I played one of the Gradius games. I want to say it was on Game Boy Advance, though. Was there one on Game Boy Advance? Yes, definitely this. Gradius Galaxies? That looks familiar. Let's see if the game looks familiar. Yeah. Yeah, Aero Fighters was a cool game. At least the Super Nintendo version. I think there was an N64 version or GameCube or something. That was not very fun. I'm surprised there aren't better pictures of this. Huh. Yeah, anyway, typical like airplane style shoot 'em up game. Hey Grim, I am doing well. And hey Encrypted Cipher. We're still just working through feedback. I mean, this is what's going to be happening for the next entire month. It's just prepping the demo. All right, so now all of these need to be set. We did write a tree function that says run functions on all descendants. We could do this and have it check for all tooltips and then set them. It is at least one way to do things. I don't know if it's a smart way to do things. So we'll say do this. And then we take in a node and say if node is tooltip on parent, then do this stuff. This isn't going to work unless I make this look a little bit better. Otherwise the linter is going to get super mad at me. Okay, now let's reload this. We need to add a Konami code. The thing I was saying about the debug menu, because I still am torn on doing something like that. There we go. Tree function. Thanks for the resub, Grim. Chicken best meat. I don't think I've ever gotten that as a resub message. Why doesn't everyone subscribe now and share their opinions on things? Okay, let's see if this is working. That should have fixed all of these that we have, right? Tooltip text. No, there's one more. Show available buildings and their upgrades. I'm guessing I just forgot to delete this. But it's possible I forgot to copy it first. So let's see. See which buildings and upgrades you can obtain. Yeah, I just didn't delete this. All right. Pretty cool. Yeah, so all default tooltips are now gone. Thank goodness. Yeah, battle map and higher adventures don't have that anymore, so we can just mark this as finished. That didn't really take that long. It wasn't too bad. Didn't I write that I needed to do something else though here? No, that was it. If they got to swap prices. I mean, if price were into consideration, Sinistella, what would be the top? I guess salmon for you. All right. Looks good. We still have that, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, what's... Oh, I hate this. I hate this stupid thing. Is that all that even changed in here? It just randomly set it to 2-2? I wonder... Okay. I'm wondering about this. Is this the Godot bug that I'm hitting as a user affecting Godot as an engine? And it's setting these back to 2-2? Someone must have commented on this, right? Vector 2-2. Size 2. I don't know how we're going to find this. Man. Yeah, I don't know how we'll find this. I mean, maybe we could search for this in quotes and maybe it would show up. Oh my goodness. This is the issue. This is it. Are they on Mac? They're on Linux. Oh, I am definitely putting a thumbs up on this. Can you bookmark bugs or something? Oh, you can follow them, right? Subscribe. Oh, I should have done that on the other bug that I found that day. What was that? Oh, how would we find it? Godot. This issue. Subscribe to this one too. No new comments since last time, right? No. Yeah. I should be doing that more often. Still absolutely seven. Biggest issue I have at the moment is assets I can use without having copyright issues. At the moment, I'm drawing it all myself and I get distracted. I suggest always to new people to just look at itch and search through game assets. You think by the amount of times I've done this, I would know where that button is. And then you can sort for free ones if you want. You can look for just cheap ones even. Because like imagine something like this. This is $3. Like even if you are an artist, making all of these things yourself would definitely take you more than $3 worth of your time. So it might not be exactly what you need for your game, but if you get a few of these and you spend like $10 or $15, that's not usually too bad for just kind of, if you think about game dev as a hobby, spending 10 or 15 bucks on that hobby is not bad. And if you're trying to make a product, then you have a very different sort of return on investment calculation there. Cod, fish and chips, tartar sauce. That's what I want. Tartar sauce and fish. With GD script, what different? I'm not sure what you're asking, Grim. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking. Thank you for showing me the 20 game challenge. I like the idea of this. Yeah, I think it's great, and I hope it helps. Are you a game developer, Morheim? Or Morheim? Let me know your name pronunciation too. I have a giant list, and I will try to always pronounce it correctly, but I need to know how to pronounce it in the first place. Okay, so we can revert this, and then just look at all the other things we have here, right? Yeah. Looks good, looks good. Looks good, looks good. All I did is change tooltips, and I did verify them all in the game already, so that's why I'm zipping through this. Why did this get added all of a sudden? Instance map camera.cs. That should have been in a different thing. All right, so add UID file. This is the new UID issue we're going to run into. And then this is replace all of the tooltips. 496. Replace all built-in tooltips. See, this closes this. Good. Sync, and now watch this turn purple. Come on. Yes. So satisfying. How hard is GDScript to learn? Oh, not hard at all. It's pretty similar to learning Python. Wait, this doesn't help. Is it I don't know, like A as in blade? Or is it like I as in time? More, I'm gonna say it's A as in blade. We're gonna go like that. Sort of a dev. But I'm like a lot of people. Start and stop, you know, the usual. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I think having something where it's almost like a blueprint of what to follow. Those 20 games, I think it can be really helpful. All right, what's next? Do we have any other PRs to merge? Add timer preventing dialogue spawning after feeding the slime. FPS limited or not. Before the change, I can still immediately pick the slime. Dialogue. Change comment to reference a new constant. It's probably wrong now, so I guess it pointed at a different issue. Frame order, no clue. TLDRs added a dummy timer that blocks the clicked method from being fired. Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at this. Seconds to stop clicks for. Wait time, one shot, add child. Start it. Check to see if the timer is stopped. We could just use the timer, not a Boolean value here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let me pull this in. GH, oh, whoa, before I do this, let's push what I've done. I think I just did, but I don't actually know when that was. Yeah, good, everything up to date. GHPR list, check out 681. Okay, so first, let's just launch the game. Let's also open this up over here. Close up all these things. Make sure that didn't just change anything. Good. Yeah, and now launch the game, and we should see the slime working. So click, click. And now when I drag items to it, I shouldn't be able to double click. Yeah, good. Cool, cool, cool. All right, now let's look at the code. That was recycler. So I don't know about this comment. I know this is something I wrote a while ago. These three Booleans are a hacky way to work around the event order between player held item, which handles dragging the item, NPC, which handles the on-click code, and input, which handles click event. Plus, one of the events works on mouse up and the other on mouse down, which makes it harder. The whole reason these exist, so you can't click this NPC while you're holding an item. Otherwise, it would spawn a dialogue. Oh, that was for, I see. That was for this. You click and then you click the slime. It is not a problem now. So I don't think this matters. And then there was this issue, which I wonder if I should still look at some point. Okay. All right, so I don't think we need this. What is going on? Is click protected? So we'll make a private bool can click slime is going to be click protection timer is stop. And then we can just say if not can click slime. Actually, just put this here. I think it's clear enough. All right, and then where else do we have errors? If it's left, and yeah, this isn't needed anymore. Although we might need to code the click protection in again now. I'm not sure. I'll take a look. Yeah, this is to prevent you from doing this. I'm just curious if this is going to be sufficient. And I don't think it will be now that I look at it. Because I think now when you click to put an item into the slime, it's also going to spawn the dialogue. But we will soon find out. Probably just have the slime unlocked by default. Grant. Oh, no, it's working fine. Yeah, it's working fine. Not too bad. Yeah, so the problem this was solving is, for whatever reason, a lot of people would drag an item onto the slime and then like immediately click them again. And it happened enough where we were like, we need to fix this. So you can still click the slime and see the dialogue, but you can't click them for half a second after dragging an item to them. So if you do double click and it's not longer than half a second, it won't. I don't remember what I just said, but anyway, you get the idea. What do you drag and release? Yeah, I just tested both ways. So drag and release works fine, and then click also works fine. So this let us get rid of a bunch of this code here. We should probably have a comment still for the click protection timer. I'll just say many people, I don't even know if it's accidental. I was going to say accidentally double click, but I'll just say double click. It doesn't matter what their intentions are. Many people double click the slime, or maybe like click the slime after bringing it an item, which causes its dialogue to appear. This timer prevents you from clicking so soon after feeding it. Excuse me. And then there's one other little thing I don't think I tested here. Let's try it really fast, which is that if the very first thing you do is click the slime instead of feeding them, does that work? Yeah, it does. Okay. The whole click protection thing was a bit confusing to me. It was because we have 3 different sources of input going on. There's the slime itself, there's items, and then there was something about NPC, which might have been from the slime. I don't know. Anyway, we were trying to stop it from you dragging an item there and then also spawning the dialogue, I think. Whenever those things are confusing, by the way, I would suggest looking at the commit that introduced them. And sometimes it's going to be helpful and sometimes it's not. So it's not a bulletproof way. But I try to make the commit messages pretty fleshed out. So if you look at the click protection stuff, you might be able to get more context just by clicking this. This was a formatting change, so you need to go back farther than this, apparently. Right here. And then again, we need to get to the source of this. Add dialogue to the slime. Here it is. I hackily worked around item dragging stuff so that clicking the slime doesn't do anything if you're in the middle of a drag. Yeah, so that's the only context you'd get for this, but there might have been an issue here or something. And even this, it says hackily, so you could be like, well, if I can get this to work non-hackily, then it should be good. Yeah, I might have fixed it. Hey, Banana. Anyway, it's looking good, and the code got a lot better. Yeah. And the file got smaller. Is this function still needed? Yes. Okay. Cool. So we got rid of 18 lines of code. So improve click protection on the slime. We don't need an extra Boolean any longer. I tested dragging an item in one motion and and also by clicking to pick up and clicking to drop it. Okay, there we go. Sync and merge. Where's the PR? Here. Okay. Thanks for doing this. Yeah, I am very glad we're fixing some of these issues that people are talking about. Because the thing is, I've found that typically, if you get feedback once on something and you don't fix it, you're probably going to get feedback on it again. And at some point, you won't get feedback, you just won't get new people playing your game. Because enough people are probably just going to be like, this bug is frustrating, and leave a bad review. I ran into issue coding wall jumps. I see. Yeah, my sort of general take on programming anything, whether it's a game, whether it's a website, whether it's an entire back end of something, is that you get into this cycle of like things are going great, and then you hit a problem that you think can't be solved, and then depending on how long the problem is, hours or days pass, you solve the problem, and you completely forget about this cycle. And it repeats itself. So this is at least what happens for me. So every time I hit a big problem, I'm like, all right, that's it. This is it. This is the thing that's going to do me in. I'm never going to make it past this point. And without fail, every time I make it past that point. And yeah, it's like yesterday we encountered those two. There was the like corrupted textures, and there were the game freezes, and we got through both of them yesterday. But yeah, in the moment, it can feel really daunting. On the cane in the quest window, hard to reproduce. Any movement seemingly fixes this. Interesting. Item in the quest progress. How do we do that? Item graphic. Oh, it's a texture rectangle. That's probably why. We changed the region here. Yeah, good call, Nui. Thank you. How does C# work with Godot? Does it do a good job? I've only barely scratched the surface of GDScript. So just think of it as another interface to Godot. If you look through any of the calls that are happening, it's just gonna be calling underlying native calls anyway. So like this is the C# interface, and it's really just saying, hey, call the underlying C++ code that exists. This is pretty much identical to what you're gonna see in GDScript. They're gonna have some exposed interface that's just gonna call the C++ thing underneath. So in terms of programmer experience, it's kind of just what you'd expect out of a C# application. In terms of game developer experience, though, it is a little different. There's no hot reloading out of the box, and the VS Code solution is not great. So I just don't use it, which is very frustrating because now my build times are long enough. But let's say I were to change the slime from giving 5 gold to give 10 gold. I have to like rebuild the whole application. In GDScript, you probably wouldn't have to do that, and you could just count on it reloading. It's cycle as me right now, trying to build out my Windows application in Godot. Yeah, I wish you luck. And really, you can look at your entire life as every single problem you've encountered that you're not still currently on, you've gotten past. I mean, it's tautological, but it's true. And I think it's motivating to know that, yes, I've solved however many hundreds of problems in my life. And it's the same for all of you too. And some of them probably seemed super daunting, and some of them were very easy fixes, and you got through them nonetheless. Okay, so Nui encountered that issue. I'm going to write that down for now. And I do see what the problem is. It's not, I think, super important for right now, but we will write this down. Why did the cursor like jump way down? Probably had command held. Okay. So we're back on main, right? Certainly looks like it. Branch is up to date. So figure out why auto battle sometimes doesn't work. Happen to 3 people. Oh, wait a sec. What if I really should have written down what version this was on? I don't know when I wrote this. But what if it was caused by that canceling a battle issue or something got disposed twice? It certainly could have been. It certainly could have been. Yeah, I think we might have fixed this just now inadvertently. Yeah, so I'm gonna write today update. I think I fixed this when I fixed the, well, let's just link to the thing that I fixed. This. I think I fixed this here, but I don't know for sure. Did we have a bug number? No. All right, I'm gonna put this into my stream of consciousness. There. It has version history, but it doesn't have blame unless you're on like the enterprise edition. So I can't just right click this and be like, what date was this? But yeah, if you're on the paid version or whatever, you can do that. So searching through version history for a file that's been around for like a year and has 48 pages is going to be very, very tough. Hot reload works for me in Visual Studio for most things. Yeah, I think that's great if it works. I'd love for it to work here too. Generating solid Unity C# code. Yeah, a lot of people have been raving about Cursor. I should probably give it a shot at some point. I just haven't. I'm kind of just hoping that Copilot sort of catches up. Yeah. This we have written down already. Oh man, I'm so torn on there being pixel art things for this. By the way, the reason why we don't have custom pixel art things for this is because apparently it was easier to do this style. I like this style. I just don't know if a bunch of players are going to play the game and be like, this doesn't fit or something like that. I have actually also gotten feedback that like the title screen art style doesn't fit the rest of the game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about those things right now. I should add a horizontal rule to town perks for now and just say demo stuff there so it's clear. Also, maybe arrange the perks from cheapest to most expensive. Yeah, these are easy enough to do that I should probably just do them. Let's take a look. How does town perks look right now? Yeah, everything just goes into one of these somewhere. Skill buttons here. So they all go into this. And what I was thinking is, what if we added in a horizontal rule, or maybe even we added in sections? Is this worth doing? Maybe we color the other ones differently or something? I think rearranging them might be good at least. That way we put the cheapest stuff at the beginning and the most expensive stuff at the end. It's a cheapo way. It'll take me like 1 minute. It's a cheapo way of me at least putting some amount of organization here. What I want eventually is for there to be unlockable sections or something. So yeah, until then, let's put this stuff at the beginning. All right, auto battling should be first. I think if we just, yeah, I think this is the order of that list. So auto battle should be first. This should definitely be second. These things should be the end. And then everything else doesn't really matter. And that's it. We're done. Yeah, that actually is it. They're already all organized in terms of their starting cost. That was coincidental, probably. So auto battle is first. Hardworking adventurers is second. And then these are next. I wonder if we should just delete item doubling for the demo. That way there'd only be 9 things. And also item doubling is kind of terrible. Yeah, I like that idea. And then I'll just write a note or I'll file an issue that says like reintroduce it. Yeah. Just want to make sure that that worked. Yeah, okay. I'm a little torn because item doubling sounds cool. It's just it wasn't balanced. And it's not like fully working in the game. It works, but it doesn't tell you that it worked. And yeah, paying 50 gold to get a 1% chance of doubling an item. I guess it's like it averages out to every item being worth 1% more with no rounding. So if you find 100 items, you'll have found like 1 extra item. Which kind of goes to show you that the economics don't really work out. Because you have a 3 gold potion, you find 100 of them, you've now gotten 3 gold, and the ability costs 50. So you need what, 1600 potions? Yeah, I'm gonna delete it. Sort by second cost too. No, I don't want to change the order of the skills. I know we have a cap at the end of your message, but still, okay, let's do that. And let's write an issue here saying something about item doubling. Do we already have something about item doubling? Balance. I have it written in here. Doubling. Delete it. I already had it written down. I don't think it has much of a purpose now that we have the enchanter. Maybe upgrade the enchanter's mana. Yeah, we should probably just delete it from the whole game. And maybe it shouldn't be this. What does it do? How does it work, I should say? Get chance. Is this just hard-coded into the ability stuff? Yes. Or in the item generation stuff. We have a chance of doing this, and we run the chance, and we potentially give you more items. Yeah. How do you do that search thing in GitHub? I'm not sure what you're talking about, so I will do what I did from the beginning, because it's all very oriented in hotkeys. So Alt-1 is going to get me to Chrome, and that's as a result of Hammer Spoon. So if you want to check that out, you can look at the Hammer Spoon command. And then from there, I press the home key on my keyboard, which is actually Command-Shift-Home, but I have a key dedicated to that because I have a wacky keyboard. And then I press K, which is a result of Home Pagerizer, to go to GitHub. And then either T to go to a file or / to search the repo. So when you put that all together, it is this, new tab, home, and then K, and then either T to go to a file and type something like item, or / to go up to the top and search. I highly, highly, highly recommend Home Pagerizer. It's just a smattering of links on a page, but it's easy to update. You can add hotkeys to these things. So I can set this to be like Q. And now down on the page, you'll see what I even just set that for, YouTube. You know what that is on the page. Oh, it wasn't even, oh, huh, that's kind of a bug. I set it on a label. Anyway, yeah, it's just a smattering of links, but it really helps speed up my workflow for things I go to often. So I'm very frequently going into like the GitHub repo. I'm filing a new issue. How many items do you get throughout the game? That ought to be some thousands. Yeah, it's very slow to pay off. And if you leave it running for long enough, it'll work. But yeah, I don't think it's worth keeping. Then I'll do the gutting of this in a different change. Let's keep this here for now. Okay, so this is just rearrange town perks. Rearrange town perks. I put the cheapest ones first so that if you're scanning from left to right and top to bottom, you'll see the most important ones. Yeah, sure thing, Biley. All right, now we're gonna go delete it. So item doubling. Delete this from here. Item doubling. Delete this whole ability. We probably don't need the crossed axes anymore. Yeah, we wouldn't be using this. So crossed axes can get deleted. Game, assets, icons, ability, crossed axes. We should delete this through Godot just in case there's a problem. Because it should delete the import file for us too, right? So now that doesn't exist. Yeah. Okay, crossed axis is gone. We got to go delete this. Delete that. Display name, fine. Delete, 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 delete. Yep, none of this stuff matters. Just looking through it to make sure there's nothing that's actually used in another file, but there isn't. So now player item doubling ability. Let's go delete that. Player item doubling. Cool. So that's gone. And now we delete this and this. So you can never have an item doubling chance anymore. Which means num copies to add is not a thing, which means we're always going to add 1, which means we can delete that. Now we don't need your player abilities in here. It's kind of a shame. Where was that called from? Generate drops used to take this in. Now generate drops doesn't need that either. Anywhere else we called this? There. All right, let's try running this. If you're on Windows, you can use Windows key 1 to 9 to open stuff on your taskbar. Yeah, Mac didn't have that, so I used a hammer spoon script for that because I was trying to emulate what I did on Windows, pretty much. And I think, did I even do it so that you can... No, I didn't. On Windows, you can actually hold the Windows key and press 1 repeatedly to swap between, let's say, your Chrome tabs or your Explorer windows or something, or Chrome windows or Explorer windows. Yeah, I guess that's it, right? We're done. So that perk is no longer there, which means if we do a battle, we're only ever going to get the number of items it says we should get. Yeah. I mean, there's no, we wouldn't be able to test that with one shot, but as long as it's an error, that's all I care about. Okay, this is kind of part of an issue that doesn't really matter anymore. Delete item doubling. The closest issue to this is that one. Okay, got rid of the XML or SVG. Got rid of this stuff. Yep. Cool. Yeah. Right. Started using Vim key bindings VS Code. Now I'm addicted. I know Vim key bindings, or at least like the high level, the important ones, but I've never tried using them outside of Vim, I think. And now that I'm using Colmac, I think it makes a little bit less sense because normally you have, God, why can't I picture a QWERTY keyboard? H, J, K, and L would be where I have N, E, I, and O. Is that correct? Oh my God. I have a Pi hole enabled on my network, so I can't go to certain sites like that. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm done. I don't care. we're just gonna say that's that. If you have two taskbar items in the same app, only the first successful. No, you can hold Windows key and then press it twice. So you can access them both, and it's actually a pretty elegant solution, I would say. All right, so then we don't need this anymore. I think it's fine. Merge PRs is done. Okay, so we did that. All right, it's 11:40. We still have a boatload of work. Let me take a look at something. It does make me think about which app order the things are instead of taskbar item order. Do you mean window order? Because the app order is the same as the taskbar item order, right? But anyway, on Mac, you have, what is it? Command backtick to like switch between windows in the open application. So as an example, I have Chrome here and here. If I press Command backtick, I, for whatever reason, can't think of what that's bound to on my keyboard. There it is. Yeah, if I press Command backtick, it's switching between the windows that I have. So even that, it's like, I don't know what the order is. I just keep pressing it until I get to the right one. And on Windows, it's kind of the same thing. It's just baked into the Windows key and number shortcut. By the way, that's why my applications are laid out this way, because that's roughly how they were on Windows as well, when the order mattered. But now the order doesn't matter. All right, what I wanted to do is I want to open up Discord. I want to go to my game team section and I want to find that message I sent to everybody. And I want to see which issues are left. So these were for Darkstorm and these are for Kevin. And I want to see if any is so important that I think it's worth doing like right now. And I'm not saying that the people I assigned issues should do it right now, but I want to see. All right, so bug editing a third battle. Yeah, I think this is such a quick fix that I should probably just do this now. I think I even identified what the problem is. But we just create 3 battles. And then win them and then try editing this and it doesn't let us. And I think I just changed this line to this line. Is at max battles. Okay, does that fix that? I mean, the browser window I want is 3rd, but it's the 2nd browser window. I'm not sure I follow Kevin, but maybe what you have is the like don't group similar apps setting. I think there's a checkbox for that on Windows. But then you wouldn't ever be able to press Windows key 2 twice. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you're not like upset with your workflow, then I think everything should be fine. All right, did that fix this issue? No. Oh man, I wonder what the instance slot ID to use is. This is set there. And then edit battle party. Oh no, we edited one. Oh, sorry, that's not equal to 1. What? Maybe we're setting the start button state in the wrong, like maybe I need to click something else. Upgrade portal even. No, it's not that. Okay. I just want to see if that was like dead simple to fix. I do think this is a problem that we should solve, and I think it should be solved pretty soon, but we'll have to look at that some more. I guess as long as I'm investigating this right now, we might as well take a look at this and just set a breakpoint there and click this. And this is going to be true. An instance slot is apparently -1. No, what? Oh, I inverted this. This is equal to -1. Okay, now I think we fixed it. Whoops. You don't have the grouping. Gotcha. Yeah, I grouped them together so that I can use the same key. I see what you mean. I'm glad we at least sort of clarified that. Makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I do. Okay, so start battle does work here. We can click it and we start another battle. But if we click this, it is not going to ever work. Nice. Okay, yeah, that fixes the bug. So I think we'll just mark this as fixed. Fix bug with starting or editing a battle window or editing a battle party. Fixes this. Problem is that we weren't when editing a party, the instance slot to use will be set, so we don't care if we're at the maximum number of battles. By not editing a party, we'll try using a new slot, so we do care. The world's dumbest comment. But there, that's fixed. All right, so what else is on this list that we potentially want to fix? Whoops. Fake italics. Definitely think this is worthwhile to add, but it's not super important. Remove unclickable area beneath the town menu. This is ultra important. Add tooltip to start battle button. Yeah, this is also super quick to fix. Change sign text. Yeah. These aren't as important, but I think, okay, should we find this is already done? And then this is not super important. Yeah, so this is definitely the most important one of these. Let's put that at the top of the list. And then battle panel not loading correctly. This is hopefully not that hard to fix, but this has been confusing everybody. So I think we should fix this today. Kevin, are you planning to do some stuff today? Because if so, and you don't already have some priorities set, I would say this is probably a combination of like easy and impactful. Allow overriding this. I don't want to do that myself. I think this is also pretty important, but I think Kevin should do that. Add tooltips to quest progress. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so then I think these are the two I would potentially take if I were to take any. Otherwise, I'm happy to look at other things. So, and yeah, Dark, have you started? So I guess my questions are, have you looked into this, or I guess started looking into this? And Kevin, do you plan to do work today? And do you have work already? And do you want to prioritize this? Hey everyone, I just made a card game for single player Vanilla.js. Want to port it to multiplayer? I'll use Socket.io. Any recommendations for how to learn? I think Socket.io is pretty easy to learn. So I would just follow their getting started guide, because it's really just like open a socket, connect to another socket. Yeah, actually, here's their example. This is it. You've now learned Socket.io. You're done. Yeah, so I would just mess around with that and then see. In general, I'd say here are some things you should know. One is WebSockets can be secure, in which case you use the WSS protocol, WebSocket secure, just like how you have HTTPS. And this can do some funky things if you're forwarding ports yourself or forwarding traffic over some other network or something. So just be careful about that. You will eventually want to use secure WebSockets. You'll probably need a difference between your like dev environment and your prod environment. The other thing to consider is you probably want to send as little as possible to represent any given thing. So rather than send something like, I don't know, maybe you have, I'm just making this up, right? You got items in your game. I know you said cards, but I'm going to just say items. Let's say we have some like fiery sword, right? And it's got 5 to 7 damage, and it's got like +2 fire damage or something like that. This might just all be representable by like, oh, item ID equals 7, and we can just reconstruct this on the other end. So those are a couple little things to focus on, but otherwise, like I said, I think this set of 2 pictures is really all you need, and you can start sending things back and forth. And there's a difference between broadcasting and sending to one particular client, but I think those things should be pretty straightforward through there. So good luck, Simon. Planning to do the battle knife loading? No, I don't want to take it. I just want to make sure that if you weren't going to take it, that then I would work on it now. But yeah, and I'm not sure if Darkstorm is here. Have you started looking into this? Because this is the only thing I would potentially take of those bugs. And if not, then yeah, so looked through, actually, I'll just write this in the stream of consciousness thing. Looked through Kevin's and Dark's bugs. I fixed a quick one that was high pry. And there's one more that I would tackle. And it's this. Oh. Dark is already doing that though, then I wouldn't do it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Dark is here, and it's totally fine if he's not. There are lots and lots of other issues, and we should probably just look through them at some point. In fact, I almost kind of wonder, maybe just consideration for the afternoon, file these issues, then prioritize what I want to tackle, rather than tackling the ones listed here. And probably start with this. I just don't want to do this. It's probably important. I think it's less important now. How do you apply it to what you do? The stream of consciousness is basically a trash note. It's stuff where if I think I might want something in the future and I don't feel like filing it, I put it here, and then I rely on just searching for it in the future. Like, oh, I said something in the dark. What was it? Oh, there it is. And it's got all my tenant reviews in case I want to look through that. But in general, it's just a bunch of throwaway notes. And I find this style of note very, very useful. Because a lot of times, here's a dumb example. Like, I heat up a quiche in our air fryer. And I set it to a certain amount of time and like a certain temperature. And that's not the kind of thing, I'm not going to like start a note with like air fryer temperatures or something like that. So I just threw it into here. If I do end up starting a note, then sure, it should belong there. But otherwise, it's just quick to throw it in the stream of consciousness alongside like, hey, I was pondering whether I should, change Skeleseller into a different kind of game. And here's what I wrote. What is it you don't want to do? The allow for reverting the settings. It's not that hard though. So I think I should just do it. Yeah, I think I should do it. And I'll just write note, this isn't even because people could end up in a bad state. It's just because some people don't want to persist their changes. I do end up with a ton of like one-line notes. Yeah. Yeah, and if you ever see a pattern in those one-line notes, you could start a new note. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, throw those in your dumping ground note. Can also trade you this if you prefer doing the battle map loading. All right, it's a trade. Sucker. All right, assigned to Kevin. By the way, you don't have to. I don't mind doing this. I just like complaining. Oh, man. All right, where did I put that other issue? It was in here originally. Here, yeah. Okay, I'll do this one. Remember, always call your teammates suckers. They appreciate that. All right, let's do that. Prioritize this. And then let me clarify that one issue. We need a reject settings button. The only reason for this is in case someone makes a change that they don't like, making the volume too loud. It's not really because of the item just below this one anymore. Yeah, I don't think we need an auto reject. I think we just delete this. Update. I don't think this is a problem anymore. Actually, I don't know. Are there ever any problems with entering full screen for somebody? Because if you can get into a state where you click full screen and it doesn't work, then there should be an auto revert. But I don't know if that's a thing that happens in modern games anymore. I don't think this is a problem anymore. If people mention this about the window mode, then we can prioritize this. And I don't think we need to do this either. Okay, so it's really just to add a reject settings button. All right, good, good, good. File issues still on this list. Prioritize this and then figure out what else to prioritize. Okay. Cool. Wow. Well, it's been 3.5 hours. I took one break. That was probably a mistake. Probably should have taken more. But I think I'm gonna get lunch. I think I'm gonna stop the stream for that time. I'll come back in the afternoon. We'll do another half day and just try to knock out as many things as we can. Actually, you know what I'm leaning toward in the afternoon is working on the music and figuring out what the guitar should be for this. I think that would be fun. And I think the title screen is a decent priority. Hey, K. Martinez. I was blown away at how much progress you make each time I stop by, looking to see the development. Amazing work. Been curious to ask about your plans for music or OST in the game. Well, thank you, first of all. Plans for music. So I'm making the music, and right now we have Town Track 1 and Town Track 2. I want probably like 2 more of those. I want title screen music, and then maybe boss music. Maybe. Is it normal that sometimes items spew out of the portal despite there being free slots in the warehouse? No, it isn't. There are free slots in the warehouse. Well, okay, wait. To be clear, so if you have, let's say, this, I have 4 free slots. So if I find 5 items, yes, 1 item should spew out of here. So let's do this. I'm gonna fill up my warehouse. Now check this out. I'm gonna hit grant items. It did put what, like 5 out of here or 6 or something like that, but it filled every single slot over here. So I really got like 70 items, but they couldn't all fit. Yeah, I might do music stuff because I kind of want a break from development. Maybe music. I do want to finish the title screen music. What tool am I using to make the music? I'm using Fruity Loop Studio for that. And I have, so normally my real process is just kind of improv on piano to find ideas, and then develop on piano a bit, and then instrument on FL Studio, and then panic, and then eventually finish the track. That's my process. I have a tiny keyboard here that I use when I'm using FL Studio, but it's not great. But I don't like lugging the piano between 2 rooms. It's a digital keyboard, but it's still heavy and it still takes up a lot of space. So yeah, we might work on that in the afternoon. All right, it's lunchtime. I'll be back in about an hour. If you have not clicked this magical link yet, please consider clicking it. It is just the wish list button on Steam. It is free to do this. We're not committing to anything, but it's going to help for the upcoming festivals when people can sort by most wish listed, and then, you know, probably still not see the game, but at least it'll be higher up than some of the other games. So yeah, see you all in a bit. Thank you for being here. Take care. Have a good rest of your day.